It's Monday, November 3rd.
We don't need a higher cost of living through a higher costed budget.
Lots of opinions this morning as the Liberal minority government gets set to table its first federal budget.
Stability grows from cooperation.
Canada has signed a defense cooperation pact with the Philippines. It's the first deal of its kind in Canada in the region.
Back up high, McKenzie across. There is Lee. Score!
Do you want to build a snowman? The Edmonton Oil Kings beat up on the Broncos 8 goals. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Happy Monday.
How many trick-or-treaters did you get at your house?
22, exactly.
22.
How about you?
No more than 40, probably.
Did you take your kids out trick-or-treating?
We went out, we did the thing. Aria was very interested in just cutting laps.
Yeah.
Mateo got so much candy, which I am devouring.
Oh, yeah, me too. Yeah, Sadie tried to enter a lot of people's homes.
Oh.
We would ring the doorbell, and then she would just be like, I'm coming in right now. Yeah. So sorry about that.
Got to introduce a healthy level of stranger danger. All right, we'll get to weather forecast in just a minute. Let's get to the news. It starts with the federal budget. The Prime Minister will unveil that document on Tuesday. That's tomorrow, revealing how his government plans to navigate the economic uncertainty posed by the ongoing trade war with the U.S. and get productivity here back on track. Colton Prail leads us off.
Before Mark Carney presents his first federal budget, it's still not clear which party will help the minority Liberal government pass it.
We don't need a higher cost of living through a higher costed budget. We need an affordable budget for affordable lives for all Canadians.
The Conservatives and the Bloc both say they're willing to help on their own terms. Pierre Poilievre is calling for fewer taxes and less spending.
The inflation that spending has caused has landed on the shoulders of single moms and seniors and others who can't pay their bills.
But new polling by Nanos Research for CTV News shows more Canadians are willing to accept a higher level of spending if it means investing in programs for Canadians. Support for the idea is up to 47%, from 35% 2 years ago, and neck with those hoping for a balanced budget that cuts taxes.
The single most important thing this budget needs to work towards is increasing investment in Canada. We have both immediate challenges with what we're doing with the United States and long-term challenges around growth and productivity.
Support for infrastructure investment as a top budget priority has doubled since 2023, now just behind tackling the deficit. But healthcare remains the top priority for Canadians, even as issues like inflation, housing, and tariff relief take away some of the focus.
For average Canadians, what they want to see is no cuts to healthcare at this particular point in time, but they're going to want to see investments in the long term.
Mark Carney campaigned on a $4 billion investment in community healthcare and has repeatedly promised not to cut provincial health transfers. While the Liberals don't have the votes to pass the budget on their own, they could do it if some opposition members abstained from voting. Asked about that, Poilievre says his Conservative MPs will be there Tuesday and do their jobs.
Canada and the Philippines have signed a defense cooperation agreement.
The Philippines has shown true leadership in upholding international law and in seeking the peaceful resolution of disputes.
The agreement will allow troops from the two countries to work together and train in each other's territories. This is the first deal of its kind of Canada in Southeast Asia. Canada and the Philippines have long been allies in opposing Beijing's claims to control the disputed South China Sea. Regina police have launched a death investigation after a man's body was found early Saturday morning. This one happened on the home on the 1000 block of 12th Avenue shortly after 1 a.m. on November 1st. Police say the area was secured and forensics was brought in. The investigation is in its early stages and no other information, including the victim's name, is being released. If you saw something, call police or Crime Stoppers. Have you checked your kids' Halloween candy yet? Regina parents did in east side of the city, and they found something quite frightening. Regina police say a parent called them after finding a thin piece of metal similar to a needle inside one of the chocolate bars that was given to their kid. It happened in East Regina. The child was out in the greens specifically. Green Moss Lane, Green Bank Road, Green Apple Drive, Green Water Drive, Green Spruce Place, and Greenbrook Road. The callers said they found a small hole in the wrapper. They caught it just in time. Police remind you to check over all of your kids' candy. And yes, the city of Regina has changed an ordinance. The street names will not all be the same in the future. Those seeking medical attention in Saskatoon were met with some unwelcome news this weekend. Jeremy Dodge is following that. Where and who was impacted, JD?
Well, Daryl, Saskatoon City Hospital's emergency room was forced to operate with adjusted hours yesterday. According to the Saskatchewan Health Authority, the ER closed at 3 p.m. because of a, quote, unforeseen physician unavailability. Anybody needing emergent care after 3 o'clock yesterday was encouraged to visit St. Paul's Hospital or Royal University Hospital. While some people are anxiously awaiting Snowmobile, anxiously awaiting snow, Snowmobile Saskatchewan's annual snow show was hosted over the weekend, getting folks excited about the winter. Show featured a number of snowmobiles, snow gear, and other recreational equipment for the winter season. A number of presentations were also held throughout the weekend to highlight ways to stay safe outside.
And just to really enjoy that time. I know during the cold weather temperatures, maybe they just want to stay indoors, but we really want them to recreate outside, however that may be, on a snowmobile, on their UTVs. Electric bikes are also popular this year. Maybe purchase a brand new truck and trailer to haul all of those power sports around.
Organizers say they have already begun planning for next year's show, scheduled for November 6th. Well, Daryl, it was a tough weekend for Jays fans.
Yeah, they're returning to work at school, JD, this morning with a lingering sadness to them.
It's like the highest of highs to the lowest of lows, but just got these guys to lean on. That's kind of been our thing all year. You know, when things don't go our way, we lean on each other.
I feel for the guys, you know what I mean? This is a special group of guys. That being said, I am so proud of them, of the entire organization, really, you know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm at. We've set a new expectation and a new standard here.
Toronto Blue Jays may not have won the World Series, but it is a season many people will be very proud of. And if you're feeling particularly blue today, mental health experts say it's normal for fans who have been invested in a team for so long. A 6.3 magnitude earthquake in northern Afghanistan has killed at least 20. Officials say they expect the death toll to rise as crews search through the rubble. The Taliban says more than 500 people were also hurt. The earthquake has knocked out power across Afghanistan, including Kabul. This disaster comes after a 6.0 magnitude earthquake struck in August, which killed more than 1,100 people. Some scary moments in London, Ontario, after a school bus left the driver dead and 4 students with minor injuries.
I was at the very back of the bus, so all I saw was something fly off the side, and then everything was just kind of a blur after that.
The bus was carrying more than 40 students when it crashed into the ditch on Highway 401 yesterday. It was traveling from Kitchener Collegiate Institute in Waterloo to Leamington for a 3-day overnight field trip. An investigation is still underway into what caused the crash and how the driver died. Some students say the driver suffered a medical episode behind the wheel, but that's not yet been confirmed by police. The NHLPA's first shift program arrived in Regina on Saturday in the hopes of creating more opportunities for you to play. Recipients of the program were mostly kids aged 6 to 10, receiving all new hockey gear. And following this, kids can participate in a 6-week training session in the city. As for community partners, it included a number in town. The Edmonton Oil Kings beat up on the Swift Current Broncos Sunday.
Back up high, McKenzie across. There is Lee. Scores!
Max Curran had 2 goals, 3 assists to help the Oil Kings beat the Broncos 8-4 yesterday. Broncos now winless in their last 5. Kayleen, are you you feeling a little blue this morning? Because you texted the group on Saturday and said, why do you do this to yourself with sports? You got invested.
So typically I am not a person that gets really invested in sports. However, this was a game that Canada really had a vested interest in, right? I got really into it. Every time I get really into a sport, they lose.
Oh, no.
I think I'm just the bad luck.
Please invest more time in the Oilers.
Okay, I'll try. My husband would actually love that. Let's turn our attention to this morning view. It's brought to you by recyclemyelectronics.ca, where you can find a drop-off location near you. Now, today is actually going to be a pretty nice day, all things considered. -2 to wake us up. We are going to be seeing some clear skies to start the day. A few more clouds working their way in for the afternoon, but temperatures are going to be almost double the seasonal average today. So good news for today. It's tomorrow we could see some precipitation down towards the south. Winds coming in currently at 22 kilometers per hour in Regina and 24 kilometers per hour in Saskatoon. And waking us up in Saskatoon is that temperature of 1 degree right now. Now the futurecast's not showing a whole lot today. We are going to be seeing a whole lot of sunshine today, not too many clouds down towards the south. And then later on into the afternoon, that's when we start to see some of those clouds coming up from the United States. So starting the day, very clear. Ending the day with a few more of those clouds. It's tomorrow, though. We see some more of that precipitation working its way in. It starts during the overnight hours, or rather the really early morning hours tomorrow. So this is at about 2:15 a.m. on your screen. The southwest going to be seeing some of that rain. And then into the afternoon hours, we're going to be seeing some of that precipitation, including a wintry mix of snow down towards the south. About a 30% chance that Regina could be seeing some of that tomorrow morning. Today's forecast with those temperatures showing that we have a high of 9 degrees expected for Swift Current, some high winds expected for Moose Jaw up to about 10 degrees. Yorkton actually going to be seeing some of those winds as well, likely up to about 50 kilometers per hour this afternoon with that high of 9 degrees and that mix of sun and clouds. 7 degrees in Prince Albert and 11 degrees for Estevan. We just mentioned that the highs today going to be about double that seasonal average. So here are those numbers for you. The average for this time of year in Regina is about 4.6, but the high today expected to be about 9 degrees. The average in Saskatoon about 3.5 on this day, but the high expected this afternoon is about 8 degrees. The records were back in the year 1903, 22.8 in Regina and 21.7 in Saskatoon. That would be nice today, hey? Tomorrow we're going to be getting down just a little bit, so 8 degrees. I did mention that we have a chance of getting some of that precipitation in the early morning. It's not going to be that snow, likely just some of that very light rain. 6 degrees on Wednesday, 7 degrees on Thursday, a higher chance of the rain coming on that day, and then the snow moving in for Friday and Saturday. In Saskatoon, seeing that high of 8 degrees carry us into tomorrow, 6 degrees on Wednesday, and then that snow starting on Thursday, Friday, and continuing into Saturday.
The Canadian Cancer Society has unveiled a national plan to reduce lung cancer deaths by 30% over the next decade. It was unveiled at a conference in Calgary over the weekend. CTV's Kevin Green has more.
Lung cancer remains Canada's deadliest cancer. The Canadian Cancer Society says that needs to change, and in a new action plan outlines 4 priorities to do that. Reduce exposure to harmful inhalants, detect cancer earlier, improve access to care, and accelerate research.
Canada is experiencing a lung cancer crisis, and despite advances in treatment and detection, we're still seeing lung cancer as the highest cause of cancer death.
The plan also addresses stigma, the misconception that lung cancer only affects people who smoke.
Radon exposure, wildfire smoke, and other environmental exposures, occupational exposures. Really, when we looked at the action plan, it's the things you breathe that can cause cancers that we're trying to help people work against.
Thoracic surgeon Dr. Christian Finley says the numbers show why change is urgent.
The number of people that die from lung cancer is more than that die from colon, breast, and prostate combined.
The funding for breast cancer research is 6 times the amount we have for lung cancer.
For Jan Pizarro, who has survived lung cancer 3 times, the focus on early detection is critical.
I think we need to shift the conversation, and we need to talk about the fact that there is a cure for lung cancer if we find it early, that we have early detection, and that we need to move to make that more available.
The Canadian Cancer Society says its plan aims to reduce lung cancer deaths by 30% over the next 10 years and to hold governments, clinicians, and advocates accountable to that goal. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
Well, here's some of our favorite and least favorite content. Robots doing stuff. Yes. If you have around $28,000 kicking around, a home humanoid robot like this could be yours. This is Neo, a robot housekeeper. Neo can apparently clean, do laundry, water your plants, etc. It can also dance in case you're ever in need of a break from not having to do your chores, to dance with someone.
Oh, okay. I want my robot to look more like Rosie from the Jetsons.
I want my robot to go to the landfill. I despise these robots. Like, why can you not just do your chores?
Yeah, this is why we have kids.
If we have to do this, can it look cool? Like, some of those Boston Dynamics ones are actually cool looking. This is just like almost sad.
And I do have to say, I'm in favor of this kind of thing for people who maybe need that help at home, right?
Okay.
Like, there are people who need assistance, and I think this would be fabulous.
It doesn't have to look like this.
This looks like one of those dummies that they beat up at police academy or something like that.
Like, yeah.
A self-defense dummy.
Yeah.
Okay, question of the day. Let's continue to feel a little bit old in certain situations. 6'7". Apparently you do some sort of bobble gesture with your hands.
Yeah.
6'7". It was the word of the year for 2025. We want to know, what was the big catchphrase for you when you were in high school? Was everything epic? Were you saying, what's up? What were you saying, JD?
I know. I'm actually having trouble. I remember for a while when brutal first became the word for everything. Oh, that's brutal. To everything bad. And I remember a teacher saying, oh, you kids, everything's brutal with you.
Oh, I have so many friends that are teachers, and they're like, this 6'7", it doesn't even have a meaning. So they're like, stop. But anyway.
No, it doesn't.
For me, and
what was it last year, Kate?
Well, I was going to say, oh, thank you. You think I'm young. So I only graduated high school 10 years ago. I'm 28 years old.
How'd that feel to say out loud?
Well, I'm not upset about being 28. Okay. But I think it was on fleek was ours instead of on point. It was, you look on fleek was the word.
Yeah. So now we're going to find out some of your ages by doing this. Text us your name and your cool high school phrase to 10400. Standard message rates may apply, or scan the QR code on your screen. Let's find out a little bit more about you as we take a look over the city of Regina this morning.
Jermaine Franklin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. And for it, we head to Cincinnati. Bears, Bengals, a wild game in the second quarter. Joe Flacco airs it out for T. Higgins, and he steals it from the defender and walks in for the TD. Higgins has the defender all over him, but he reaches his arms out and reels in the fantastic grab for the must-see moment from Sunday. And tonight on TSN, we've got Monday Night Football. The Cardinals facing the Cowboys. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
All right, it is time to head out and about and see where Mike Siona is at this morning. Mike, good morning. Happy November.
Yeah, happy November indeed. It feels like November out here. We are standing in front of what will be the new Saskatoon Public Library. And the reason that we are, and I'm joined by Sarah Lipset, who is the chair of the Design Council of Saskatchewan, is because starting Wednesday, Design Week, Saskatchewan Design Week is here. Tell us all about it.
Design Week is one of the major initiatives of the Design Council of Saskatchewan. We are a volunteer organization since 1983, if you can believe it. We cover about 6 different professional design industries, ranging from architecture, interior design, planning, engineering, geoscience, and graphic design. And it's our way to bring professional design and celebrate that here in Saskatchewan.
Very, very cool. I love that. Now, we are talking about events in Saskatoon and in Regina. This is a province-wide initiative. It's the biggest one that you guys have biennially, so that's every 2 years. I had to Google that this morning. But just tell me about some of the cool projects, because we get to tour them.
That's right. So one of them is a public tour we call them hard hat tours. So this is one of them. The Saskatoon Public Library and LEDCOR have welcomed us onto their site, so we'll be doing a tour of that on Thursday. Friday, we'll be touring the Caswell Bus Barns, and on Wednesday, the new St. Francis Cree Bilingual School with Kindertruck Agri Architects.
Yeah, I've been on the outside of that building. It's pretty cool. So a really great opportunity. And who is this for?
This is for any member of the public. So they are free events. Anyone is welcome if you're interested in design or curious about the world around you, or just, piquing your interest. We'd love to see you out there. Again, free and open to everyone.
I love that. And a great opportunity to learn. Maybe you're an aspiring student. Maybe you're thinking career change. Maybe you've got a home renovation project and you need to draw some inspiration. But it's going to be for everybody. We'll talk about all the other events going on, including what's happening in Regina as the morning continues. But for now, it is cold, so I'm going to design a way to get inside.
All right. Happy designing, Mike. Thank you very much. We'll check back in with you in just a little while.
Your school day forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out in Regina to catch the bus, we're at -2 with clear skies, but the sun not quite up yet. In Saskatoon, we're at 1 degree, a cool start to the day. By lunchtime in both cities, we'll be enjoying that nice high of 7 degrees. A few more clouds making their way in down towards the south at that time. And then by final bell, 9 degrees for Regina with that mix of sun and cloud. 8 degrees by final bell in Saskatoon. Again, a few more clouds there by that time, with winds coming in up to about 40 kilometers per hour. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The common cost to fill up is $128.9. You can find regular fuel for as low as $105.9. In Saskatoon, the common cost to fill up $127.9 today, and the lowest you might find is $117.9. Taking a look at the farm markets, the street price of canola at $565.42 per ton, and the futures price at $622.80 per ton. Amber Durham wheat at $285.94 per ton, and red spring wheat at $242.49 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading down at 71.34 cents US. After the break, it's officially Movember. We're kicking off this year's campaign at about 6:40. Stay with us.
Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. It is 6:31. Saskatchewan RCMP Major Crimes has made an arrest in a Weyburn area death. 44-year-old Tanya Myers was a passenger in a vehicle that was struck by bullets while traveling on Highway 39 near Weyburn on September 12th. On Saturday, Mounties arrested and charged 42-year-old Chris Fallman from Regina with manslaughter, careless use of a firearm, and more. He'll be in court in Regina later today. It is possible that Canada may lose its measles elimination status this week when World Health Organization officials meet in Mexico City to analyze our health data. Sarah Plowman on why that matters.
At 4 months old, Kimmy Birch-Fukuda could only cry to warn of her high fever, her pain.
She started getting these red dots.
The infant had measles, too young for the vaccine, leaving her mother feeling helpless.
I was in disbelief because I thought it wasn't a thing anymore.
Measles made a comeback in Canada this past year, with more than 5,000 cases recorded since last October, when an outbreak started in New Brunswick and spread. 2 infants in Alberta and Ontario were infected in the womb and died. As a regional office of the World Health Organization meets this week, Canada is poised to lose its measles elimination status, a status it's held for more than 25 years. The key question to determine that is, has the same strain of measles been transmitted in Canada for more than a year?
If it is essential, the same virus that started the transmission a year ago, then
and the transmission is still ongoing, then the country is going to lose the status.
We have had more than 12 months of transmission of measles. So by definition, we have lost our elimination status. It's just we haven't had the official stamp on it yet.
But a year later, measles cases are going down. Ontario's outbreak ended in October. Experts attribute the virus's comeback to declining vaccination rates that slipped further during the pandemic.
There are pockets within the country, in various parts of the country, that have lower vaccine rates. And that's exactly why we had these outbreaks.
This public health doctor notes in the past year, requests for measles vaccines nearly doubled.
We need to get back on track with our immunization programs and get back to where we were before the pandemic.
Dr. Crowcroft says for a country to regain its measles elimination status, it has to prove there's been no ongoing transmission for a year. And here in Canada, teams will continue to build relationships with communities that are vaccine hesitant. Sarah Plowman, CTV News, Fredericton.
Tens of thousands of people are without power in eastern Ukraine following an overnight attack by Russia. Ukrainian officials say a separate drone attack in the Odessa region killed at least 2 people and injured several more. Pumpkin Way returned to Wascana Park in Regina this weekend. The annual tradition returned, people dropping off their pumpkins near the Legislative Building for one final display of their pumpkin artwork. Fenwick Farms brought in a petting zoo, and all those pumpkins will eventually become food for their animals.
We do actually a couple programs in the city where we get some leftover produce from grocery stores, and I think that's what began it. We were thinking, what happens to all these pumpkins? There was people offering us their pumpkins, and so we decided to have a couple spots in the city where if you wanted to donate, you could drop off there and we'll come pick them up.
And they got about 600 pumpkins this year, Kayleen.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, at least it goes to a good cause, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What's going on with the weather?
All right, well, we are seeing some warmer temperatures today. Again, not exactly warm, but warmer than what we saw last week. We're not really seeing much of that rain or snow today in the forecast, but that is on the way tomorrow for areas down in the south, and then later on in the week for other areas in the province. I'll show you that in just a moment here. -2 right now, though, to wake us up in Regina. We are seeing some pretty clear skies and some west winds coming in at 22 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, 1 degree is where we're still sitting clear skies as well, with winds coming in at 24 kilometers per hour right now. Winds are going to be increasing later on this afternoon. The highest winds we're going to be seeing are around Yorkton, Hudson Bay, and Prince Albert, up to about 50 kilometers per hour. Saskatoon and Regina at points in the afternoon could be seeing those gusts up to about 40 kilometers per hour. So a windier day once again. The futurecast, though, showing that we're starting the day without too many of those clouds. So that's nice to see. We are going to be seeing a whole lot of sunshine to start the day. Some more clouds moving in, though, as we look towards the afternoon and overnight hours. Mainly going to be down towards the southwest, though. Areas in around Prince Albert and Saskatoon could be seeing a whole lot of that sunshine still. Now, into tomorrow morning, down in the southwest corner, we are going to start with some rain and some light little pockets of flurries there. But then we are going to be getting some more of those flurries into the later parts of the morning, and about a 30% chance right now that some of that could reach Regina. Into the later parts of the afternoon, though, it is looking clear. Current temperatures now showing La Ronge at 3 degrees, 2 degrees in Hudson Bay to wake us up, 1 degree in Spiritwood, cooler through Kindersley, -6, -2 in Swift Current, and -3 in East End. Today's forecast showing that we are seeing temperatures about double that seasonal average for this time of the year. Moose Jaw up to 10 degrees, Weyburn up to 11, and Yorkton up to 9 degrees. Prince Albert with that sunshine up to 7 degrees today. The 7-day forecast shows you where we're going to be seeing some more of that precipitation. So as I mentioned, tomorrow, about a 30% chance of getting some of that in the morning, and then later into the afternoon, it should be clearing up. Wednesday, 6 degrees. Thursday, some more rain on the way. And then Friday and Saturday, we could be seeing some more of those flurries. In Saskatoon, not really seeing that precipitation tomorrow. Again, it's mainly concentrating down far towards the south. Wednesday, about 6 degrees. And then Thursday, that is when the snow is going to start. About 2 degrees on that day, 2 degrees on Friday with the flurries continuing on, 1 degree on Saturday. Again, still seeing those flurries. So we do have a chance of seeing this starting to stick. Makes sense as we're now into November. But then Sunday, we do see some more of that sunshine coming out with that high of 3 degrees.
trying.
Keanu Reeves has a lot to deal with in his next sci-fi film. He's set to star in Shiver from Deadpool director Tim Miller. The Hollywood Reporter says details are sparse, but it's believed to be about a smuggler dealing with a deadly double cross, hungry sharks, and a time loop.
It was so cool.
Keeping up with the Joneses as Bridgets. Daisy Edgar Jones from Twisters and Amelia Jones from Coda are reportedly set to star in Bad Bridgets, about 19th century sisters who flee famine-ravaged Ireland for New York. Filming is planned for Ireland and Northern Ireland next spring. Florence and the Machine have a Halloween hit. The group released its latest album, Everybody Scream, on Friday, and a Billboard poll published that day named the album music fans' favorite new release of the week. The band plans a tour supporting the album, launching in February in Belfast and reaching the U.S. in April. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
It's time to grow the mo. We're into November, which of course is Movember. Adam Kletchko is here from the local campaign. Good morning and welcome to the studio.
Good morning, thanks for having me.
All right, so let's of course dive in. What is Movember? What's the cause all about?
So for those that don't know, Movember is the leading charity dedicated to changing the face of men's health. We focus on 3 key areas, and that's men's mental health, suicide prevention, prostate and testicular cancer. It's a year-round charity, but what it's best known for is the month of Movember. And that's the month where we ask people that can to grow the best mustache they can in 30 days. This is my 4-day mo. Hopefully the HD TVs pick it up all right. But we also want to make sure that everyone can be involved. So it's not just about growing a mustache. You can choose to move for Movember, challenge yourself to a physical activity. You can host what we call a moment, or you can mow your own way. So some people, they've had full beards, and maybe they just take it down and reveal the mo afterwards.
Well, it's a good cause, as you just mentioned. So just how prevalent are these cancers? What should we know?
So yeah, the statistics here in Canada, 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. Testicular cancer is the most common form of cancer in young men, ages 15 to 44. And for suicide, 3 out of 4 suicides are men. So when we think about those stats, that's why these conversations are so important. And that's why Movember is really driving to cause those conversations and for raising funds for men's health.
In your opinion, do you think these conversations are becoming more popular now that Movember is such a widely known campaign?
I would say so, yes. I mean, it might be a little biased because of how much I talk about Movember, but you know, the more that I've been involved with Movember over the years, this is my 16th campaign, growing a mustache from Movember, and it's really seemed like the more I talk to, whether it's different workplaces, different people that reach out to us on social media, hearing their stories, the conversations are being had, but we can certainly do much better to drive those.
You mentioned some other ways that people can be helping, and I think there's sort of a misconception that only men can participate in Movember, but most sisters can participate as well.
Of course, yeah. A lot of the driving force behind Movember is how stubborn men can be, and we know that a lot of times it's the women that in our lives that support, whether it's moms, whether it's spouses, and so we want to make sure that they can help out just as much as men can, and that's where we say that you can choose different goals. We encourage everyone to register at Movember.com, whether you're a Mo Bro or a Mo Sister, and again, you can choose to move, you can choose to host, or just to support someone out there that is growing a mustache for Movember.
All right, any final words of advice for people thinking they might participate this year?
Yes, Movember started on Saturday, and today is Monday. There might be a lot of razors out there this morning that accidentally might shave off what they've grown, but don't be discouraged. Every mustache counts, even if it's a little bit delayed. Some people say that the worst mows generate the best conversations. So.
All right, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us in studio this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Now let's head out to Beaulieu, where Janelle Lapai is learning more about integrating agriculture into the school system. Janelle, good morning.
Hi,
Hi, Jeremy. Good morning. That's right. We've got a really fun day ahead of us here. I've got Justine Wheeler with me. Justine, tell me a little bit about these agricultural programs that you guys offer here.
So we have three major ones. We have an outdoor garden. We have our hydroponic garden and an indoor garden. And we just recently got chickens this year. So we have 5 laying hens.
That's amazing. I would love this. I want to come back to school so I can come hang out with the chickens. Now, let's talk a little bit about how you've seen students flourish by using these programs.
They're really engaged with their learning. One of my students last year said, in 4-H, the motto is we learn to do by doing. And that is exactly what our students are doing here. They're learning to do by actually doing everything.
Fantastic. And this has been going on for about 4 years now. What was the inspiration behind it?
I just love being outside, and our kids love being outside. There's so many benefits to being outside. So we've kind of brought in that programming into our school.
Amazing. And you talked a little bit earlier here this morning about the outdoor classroom. Have you guys been using it quite frequently over the summer, and how have you seen kids respond to that?
So over the summer, our playground usually is hopping. There's lots of kids playing here. At the beginning of the school year, we did have a fire pit outside, or we have a fire pit outside, and we had like a welcome back, wiener roast, and we use the outdoor classroom every day.
That's amazing. Alrighty. So what are you hoping to see next? How are you hoping to see this evolve?
I'm hoping that the students are really learning and taking in all the agriculture things, and it helps them in their future.
Awesome. All right, Justine, thank you so much. We're going to be back shortly. We've got more to show you, even some chickens coming up, so stay tuned. You won't want to miss that. All right, here's your Monday morning weather or not. Your question today is, what is the difference between a hurricane and a typhoon? Is it A, size, B, wind strength, C, geography, D, winter versus summer, or E, ocean versus lake? What do you two think?
JD, I'm going to go with geography. I think it's C. I think it's the area in the world in which it happens.
Yeah, that's absolutely what it is. It's where it takes place.
Okay.
Look at you, smarty pants. It is geography. So in the Atlantic and the Eastern Pacific, storms sustaining 119 km/h winds are called hurricanes. In the Western Pacific, the same storm is called a typhoon. And in the Indian Ocean and the Bay of Bengal, the storm is called a cyclone.
Okay, that's where it is. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know the third part of that.
You two nailed it today.
Look at that. You're teaching us things.
It's November 3rd, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a couple belated wishes from over the weekend. A big happy birthday going out to James, who turned 1 year older over the weekend. We hope it was a great one, with many more to come. Love, your wife, Joyce. Happy birthday to FJ, who turned 13 years old on the 31st. Welcome to teenagehood. Lots of love from the Fridays. And we're also sending a big happy birthday wish out to Cadence. She's celebrating today. The Friday family also sending you a whole lot of love for your special day. We hope you enjoy it. Turning 1 today is Ava. Happy birthday to you. Have a great day with your family. They love you so much. Turning 13 years old is Layla. Happy birthday to you, Layla. A lot of love and well wishes coming your way from your mom and dad. Enjoy. We're also sending birthday wishes out to Jean today. We're told she's a super fun mom and grandma. This shout out coming with love from the whole family. Happy birthday wishes also going out to Chris today on his 71st birthday. Lots of love coming to you from your family and your friends. Have a great day. If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca, or you can also scan that QR code on your screen right now, but make sure you send those in at least 1 day in advance.
Well, how you feeling there, Jays fan, Chase?
Sad, but you know what? Still joyful for how far they went. If you would have told me at the start of the year that they make the World Series, I would have said not a chance. Oh. If you would have told me they wouldn't have been swept by the Dodgers at the start of this series, I would have said not a chance too. So, in fact, we go extra innings in Game 7 of the World Series. Yeah, lots to be proud of. Plus, you know, if we were sad, we had all of that leftover candy to fill that void inside of us. And today we're talking about leftovers from Halloween. We know what to do with the candy, but what are you doing with with your Halloween costumes? Do you have suggestions? What do you do with them? Is there a spot that you like to donate them to? You can text over 54321. We'll get some suggestions to share on air coming up later today.
All right, Chase, thanks so much for this. And I like your optimism there. That's uplifting. Not everybody's feeling the same way this morning, I'm sure.
I'm all cried out, Daryl. That's just optimism now.
First, helping a sidebar, and here's the fanciest way to pay the cheese tax.
Mm.
The dog's name is Toast, and Toast loves getting grated cheese directly into the snout.
Oh, that is cute.
There you go.
I wonder how they figured out that their dog could do that.
You're going to be there for a while if you want to fill up.
Yeah, it's just a tiny sprinkle. Give him a chunk.
My dog would want the chunk on top, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's fun. All right, here's another one for you. Denim. It's a staple when it comes to everyday fashion, but would you wear these?
These jeans are heavier than your rug. The heaviest jeans on the entire planet.
What?
So it comes with a custom button, zipper, and tag, and it costs a cool $2,000.
Why are they so heavy? What?
And also just
what is the
why?
point?
What's the point? Yeah, like I'm with you on this, Jeremy. What is the point?
Unless you're like Director Corey and you want to get over the 100-pound threshold, why are you wearing these things?
Is it kind of like rucking where people like they strap heavy things to them and then they go walking or running and it's fitness? Yeah, I bet this is a workout.
Say rucking?
Rucking, yeah.
Isn't that like deer mating?
No. Well, I mean, maybe I don't.
Rutting.
Yeah.
Rucking is you put a heavy backpack on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get your mind out of the gutter, Daryl Rummel.
I don't know if that's the gutter. That's the fields for sure. Jeremy, what do you have for us?
All right, we're just moved to some summer thoughts. Playing in a splash pad. Always fun with friends, especially if they're feathered.
Sounds really familiar.
I love ducks. These ones so excited to get a bigger splash pad. They could not look at how excited they are. So excited.
Look how cute they are.
Oh, they're going to wreck this thing, but the good news is they can just put it on their bill. We're back after this. It's Monday, November 3rd.
We don't need a higher cost of living through a higher costed budget.
Lots of opinions this morning as the Liberal minority government gets set to table its first federal budget.
And a lot of Democrats, we only need 5. But the Republicans have voted 14 times to open the country.
Use around your lawyers on staff.
Unable to end a shutdown that's approaching record length, U.S. President Donald Trump wants to change the rules to reopen the government.
I feel for the guys. You know what I mean? This is a special group of guys.
It's hard to think about next season right now if you're a Jays fan, but Toronto wants to make it back to the World Series. They have some big decisions to make very soon. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl Rummel.
And I'm Kayleen Sawatsky. We hope your day is off to a great start. We're feeling good. We're dressing well. I like the new tie.
Oh, thank you. What was the coolest costume you saw at your house?
Oh.
Came to your door. I saw a lot of firefighters.
You know what? I don't know. I saw a lot of witches, the classic ones, the witches and the pumpkins. And yeah, I was going to a few houses with my toddler, right? I wasn't out long.
Fair enough, fair enough. If you were at the basketball game on Saturday night, you saw the women win their game and then come back to the court to support the men as Willy Wonka, rather, and all of the Oompa Loompas.
That is stellar.
Isn't that commitment?
Look at that.
All the face paint, they all have the identical wigs.
I can't believe even that they all agreed on a group costume.
I saw a couple come out of the shoot, and I was like, oh, that's really fun, and then they just kept coming, all the Oompa Loompas everywhere.
I hope they were singing all night long.
Not a Charlie in the bunch. Let's get to your news right now. For this part of the hour, Prime Minister Mark Carney's minority government will table its first budget tomorrow, and Canadians appear divided on what should be the top priority.
For average Canadians, what they want to see is no cuts to healthcare at this particular point in time, but they're going to want to see investments in the long term.
According to a new survey conducted by Nanos Research for CTV News, Canadians are split on whether the Prime Minister should invest big or cut back on spending. The results show more Canadians are willing to accept a higher level of spending if it means investing in programs for Canadians. Support for the idea is up to 47%, but it remains pretty much tied with people hoping for a balanced budget that cuts taxes. The Liberals don't have the votes to pass the budget on their own, and it's still not clear which party could help them in passing it. As we look ahead to this week's federal budget, today we are focusing on Canada's agriculture industry facing trade, inflation, and weather challenges this year. Alison Bamford spoke to some farmers to see what they want to see from the government.
On the heels of harvest, Dean Roberts is already preparing for next year's crop. He's spraying herbicides before the snow falls and planning around the uncertainty of China's canola tariffs.
Anytime your second largest market is in jeopardy, you start asking questions about how much of that crop should I invest in for next year.
Canola typically makes up 25% of Roberts' crops, and like all canola producers, he stands to lose revenue the longer Chinese tariffs drag on.
Farmers shouldn't have to borrow their way out of this trade dispute.
In September, Ottawa announced measures to help stabilize and diversify the ag sector, including a new biofuel production incentive and an increase in interest-free advances for canola farmers.
It's about being patient.
Industry groups hope to see more help with diversifying canola trade in the federal budget, but above all, they want to deal with China.
The longer this goes on, I think the more we will be thinking about what farmers will need to maintain their viability, but getting that market open is the top priority.
Farmers further south continue calling for relief from all levels of government. 9 years of consecutive drought in parts of southwestern Saskatchewan have dried up crops along with farm revenue. And what little they did produce this year is worth a lot less, with overall crop prices dropping.
Everyone's doing their best, trying to, be positive, but it's really tough. There's not a lot to be positive about.
Hope now lies with a tariff resolution and better weather for next growing season. Without either, farmers could face one of the most challenging years yet. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Always said Alison was outstanding in her field, and there's proof. Let's get to more serious news. Regina police have launched a death investigation after a man's body was found early Saturday morning. This one happened on the home on 1000 block of 12th Avenue shortly after 1 a.m. on November 1st. Police say the area was secured and forensics was brought in. The investigation now in its early stages. No other information, including the victim's name, is being released. If you did see something in the area on that day, call police or Crime Stoppers. Those seeking medical attention in Saskatoon met with some unwelcome news this weekend. Jeremy Dodge following that for us. Who was impacted and for how long, Jeremy?
Well, Daryl, this happened at Saskatoon City Hospital's emergency room. They were forced to operate with adjusted hours on Sunday. According to the Saskatchewan Health Authority, the ER closed at 3 p.m. due to a, quote, unforeseen physician unavailability. Anyone needing emergent care after 3 p.m. was encouraged to visit St. Paul's Hospital or Royal University Hospital. The buzz at Prairieland Park this weekend for the Wellness Expo. It wasn't just about fitness or nutrition. It was about finding a full circle approach to feeling good. Saskatoon's Wellness Expo saw thousands through the doors to learn about new ways to stay healthy and not just fixing what's broken. Taking a proactive approach to being healthy is the message. Event founder Rick Thiessen set out to spread. It's the 17th year in Saskatoon, bringing together dozens of exhibitors and experts from across the country, from Newfoundland to Vancouver. Thiessen and his wife have been hosting expos like this across Canada for nearly 2 decades, and he says awareness is growing fast.
Canada has a great medical system, but it's called reactive healthcare. You can't go see a doctor or go to the hospital or do something without having a problem, and then you hope that somebody can help you treat the symptoms or the repercussions from that problem. Very few things are actually fixed unless it's a broken bone or something distant.
Visitors explored everything from healthy eating and mental wellness to financial planning, even square dancing demonstrations. Well, Daryl, Jays fans, they could use some feeling good after Saturday's World Series loss.
Maybe they could go square dancing. When's the last time you did some square dancing? We used to learn it in school.
Yeah, probably high school or elementary school.
I wonder if they still teach that. Yeah, Jays fans returning to work in school a little bit sad this morning.
It's like the highest of highs to the lowest of lows, but just got these guys to lean on. That's kind of been our thing all year. You know, when things don't go our way, we lean on each other.
I feel for the guys. You know what I mean? This is a special group of guys. That being said, I am so proud of them, of the entire organization, really. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm at. We've set a new expectation and a new standard here.
Toronto Blue Jays may not have won the World Series, but it is a season many people will be very proud of. And if you're feeling particularly blue today, mental health experts say it is normal for fans who have been invested in a team for so long. A 6.3 magnitude earthquake in northern Afghanistan has killed at least 20. Officials say they expect the death toll to rise as crews search through the rubble. The Taliban says more than 500 people were injured. The earthquake knocked out power across the country, including in Kabul. Power lines are connected to neighboring countries. They were also damaged. This disaster comes after a 6.0 magnitude quake struck in August, which killed more than 1,100 people in eastern Afghanistan. In the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, the Canadian Red Cross is sending relief to Jamaica.
It is difficult because we don't have any, because right now we don't even know what we're going to eat or we're going to drink. We don't have no water, nothing is shop them solo, nothing is there. We don't know what to do next.
The director of the Canadian Red Cross says many in Jamaica were forced to flee their homes with just the clothing on their backs. About 18,000 relief supplies were flown in, including shelter kits, solar lamps, blankets, and mosquito nets. Melissa made landfall in Jamaica as a Category 5 hurricane on Tuesday. It's been called the storm of the century and is blamed for deaths of at least 19 people in Jamaica, another 31 in Haiti. Melissa was eventually downgraded to a post-tropical storm. The Edmonton Oil Kings beat up on the Swift Current Broncos yesterday.
Back up high, McKenzie across. There is Lee. Scores!
Max Curran had 2 goals, 3 assists to help lead the Edmonton Oil Kings to an 8-4 win over the Broncos yesterday. The Broncos now winless in their last 5. Kayleen, we get over to the Weather Center, and now we start wondering just how long until the snow falls and sticks around for a while.
Actually sticks, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're looking forward to. Well, we do have a chance of getting some precipitation down towards the south tomorrow. That includes rain and flurries, so a little bit of a wintry mix tomorrow. Likely not going to stick, though. Later on in the week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we are expecting some more snow in the forecast. That's when we start entering into the conversation the possibility of that actually sticking. -3 right now, though, to wake us up in Regina this morning view. It's still a little bit dark, but it's brought to you by recyclemyelectronics.ca, where you can find a drop-off location near you. Winds right now not as strong as they're going to be later on in the afternoon. Right now, they're at 19 kilometers per hour, and in Saskatoon at 22 kilometers per hour, -1 to wake us up in Saskatoon. Both cities could be seeing those winds up to about 40 kilometers per hour later on this afternoon. Futurecast not showing a lot for the morning today, but as we get into the afternoon, we do see those clouds coming up from the United States. A little tiny blip of rain in the southwest corner there, right along the border. Not really expecting too much of that precipitation, though, into the rest of the afternoon today. It's just into the very early morning hours tomorrow. So you can see this around 3 a.m. in the morning tomorrow. That's when we start seeing that wintry mix. So that's the greens, the purple, and the pinks on your screen. But then later on into the later parts of the morning, we do see that mainly being snow. Some rain, though, expected down in Estevan. About a 30% chance that we see that reach Regina. And then into the rest of the day on Tuesday, we do see things clear up. Today's forecast, though, with those temperatures showing 9 degrees for Swift Current, 10 degrees for Moose Jaw. Yorkton could be seeing the highest winds today. Yorkton, Hudson Bay, Prince Albert, all going to be pretty gusty dusty this afternoon. 8 degrees, though, expected for Saskatoon and 7 degrees for the Battlefords. Now, how does this compare, you may ask? Well, the average for this time of year in Regina, it's about 4.6 is the norm. The average in Saskatoon at 3.5. As we just mentioned, the high in Saskatoon today going to be 8, and then the high in Regina today going to be 9. So we are well above those averages for this time of the year. Last year in Regina, we were at 11 degrees, and last year in Saskatoon, we were only at about 6 degrees. But the highest temperatures were back in the year 1903, and that was above 20 degrees for this time of year. Now, we mentioned that tomorrow we have a low chance of seeing some of that rain in the morning. In the afternoon, though, we should see things clearing up. 6 degrees on Wednesday, and then some more precipitation starting on Thursday. For Regina, that means rain and then into snow on Friday and Saturday. For Saskatoon, though, that means snow starting right on Thursday with those flurries into Friday and into Saturday. A lot of sunshine in our rural forecast today. We're going to be seeing a lot of sunshine in the morning in particular, and then some more clouds moving in the afternoon. Wynyard with that mix of sun and cloud up to about 8 degrees today, 10 degrees for Outlook and 9 degrees for Kindersley. As we turn our attention down towards the south, a lot more of those clouds moving into the southwest corner into the later parts of the afternoon. Easton Cypress up to 6 degrees, Rockland up to 9 degrees, and Broadview up to 9 degrees as well. Some more winds for Kenora this afternoon, likely up to about 50 kilometers per hour. Now let's take a look at Hague, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. 8 degrees will be the high, mainly sunny this afternoon, and winds between 20 to 40 kilometers per hour.
Let's go back out now to Mike Siona, who has his eye on design. Mike, good morning.
Good morning indeed. And you can't talk about design in Saskatchewan without coming down here to the Ramey and River Landing and all of the fantastic design work that has gone into here in the last decade and a half. I'm joined by Sarah Lipson of the Design Council of Saskatchewan, its chair. And it is Design Week here in the province, kicking off on Wednesday. Why are we down here at the Ramey?
Well, because we're partnering with the Ramey for a couple of our events. 2 evening events this week. The first is on Wednesday. We have 2 visiting professionals. The first, Mark Holley, who's a landscape architect in Montreal, but he actually grew up in Prince Albert, so very, famous indeed. And Jessica Gu, who was actually from Saskatoon, and grew up here, and now she's in Toronto. She wrote her thesis on Saskatchewan architecture, if you can believe it. We have our own vernacular. It's titled Land of the Living Skies, and so we're expecting it to be like a very beautiful presentation.
Oh, fantastic. I love that. And what better place, really, location-wise than right down here. I also understand that you guys have a film night that's happening concurrently in Saskatoon and in Regina?
Yes, that's right. So the film is by Bruce Mao. He's also a Canadian designer who's espoused a lot of philosophical views and conceptual views on what design means and how we should be designing. So the film is on Thursday night here and in the Science Centre in Regina, which will be followed by a panel discussion with other local professional designers. So
very cool. Now, when you think about Design Week, you think about this area here. Is it really kind of a microcosm of what's possible in the province?
I think so. I think when we look at just the River Landing especially and how much design and thoughtfulness has been put into it and what it does for the city, it really brings a lot of people together for so many different reasons. For art, for business, for dancing in the summertime. And so there's really something for everyone here, and we really hope, that'll be Design Week as well.
Fantastic. Well, there you go. You can get all the details on the web address on your screen for Saskatchewan Design Week, and stick around. Who knows what else we'll be talking about this morning.
All right, good tease, Mike. We'll look forward to it. We'll see you in a little while.
Basketball going to be a big event in Toronto.
30 years ago this week, Canadians got a new sports team to cheer for when the Toronto Raptors played their first ever NBA game.
Think it's going to be a hit?
Oh, yeah, big time, for sure.
Why?
Well, to see like Michael Jordan, Shaquille, all the famous basketball players.
They played New Jersey Nets. That team now plays in Brooklyn. The game was at the Sky Dome, now called Rogers Centre, and they played there because the Air Canada Centre wasn't built yet. Oh, that's now known as the Scotiabank Arena. By the way, the Raptors won that first game, beating the Nets 95-79.
This French couple you're about to see is ready for the swim of their lives. So they are planning a massive relay swim from Cape Verde on an island nation off of Africa's west coast all the way to Guadalupe. This would see them swim about 3,800 kilometers across the ocean. They'll take turns for a total of 6 hours each day. They'd also set records for the longest swim relay and longest female ocean crossing with drifting. They are factoring in drifting in this swim since the boat they'll be swimming in each night will drift a little bit off course.
Okay. How?
Why is
and also why? Yeah.
It's good for them.
I mean, I can't imagine being that physically fit. That's incredible.
I'm afraid of sharks.
Yeah, exactly.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Regardless of how possible it might be, this is scary.
Especially at night. You just become chum.
Oh.
You just become chum.
No thanks.
All right, well, question of the daytime is where we go to next. 6-7, you're supposed to do this apparently. 6-7 is the 2025 dictionary.com word of the year. What was the big catchphrase when you were in high school? We're about to reveal some people's ages.
There is 100% a runaway favorite today. It's gag me with a spoon.
I remember that.
That is what
I never said it, but I remember it from back in the day.
We have had a number of answers coming in saying gag me with a spoon was theirs. But Michelle also said early 80s barf out, totally, and then gag me with a spoon. Okay. Tanya saying like totally or rad were the phrases for me. And then another answer that came in was Margie C on X saying gag me with a spoon and grody to the max.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I remember my mom told me about grody to the max, I believe when I was in 8th grade, and I thought it was so cool. I tried to bring it back at my school. It did not take off.
I wonder if some of these are being in the regular vernacular. Like Margie's going to the store and be like, oh my God, the price of this, gag me with a spoon.
Like totally.
I would use that one.
All right, text your name and your answer though. We want to hear from you. What was the big catchphrase when you were in high school? 10 for 100, standard message rates may apply, or scan that QR code on your screen. Give us about 1 hour. We'll share some more answers.
The Canadian Cancer Society has unveiled a plan to cut lung cancer deaths by 30% over the next 10 years.
Canada is experiencing a lung cancer crisis, and despite advances in treatment and detection, we're still seeing lung cancer as the highest cause of cancer death.
The organization's calling it an unprecedented effort to change the trajectory of the country's deadliest cancer. The action plan outlines 4 priorities: reducing exposure to carcinogenic inhalants, early detection, ensuring access to best-in-class care, and accelerating research. The plan also confronts the long-standing stigma and misconception that lung cancer is solely a smoker's disease.
Jermaine Franklin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. And for it, we head to Cincinnati. Bears, Bengals, a wild game in the second quarter. Joe Flacco airs it out for T. Higgins, and he steals it from the defender and walks in for the TD. Higgins has the defender all over him, but he reaches his arms out and reels in the fantastic grab for the must-see moment from Sunday. And tonight on TSN, we've got Monday Night Football. The Cardinals facing the Cowboys. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
Time for your Monday morning mystery, I am told. It is a person. Let's get to clue number 1. Okay. This actor was voted most handsome student in high school and planned to be a lawyer.
Oh, okay.
He helped rescue 50 dogs, 18 cats, and 2 hamsters in one day following Hurricane Katrina. And he won the Academy Award for Best Actor for his role in Dallas Buyers Club.
Oh.
Okay, let's answers, please. I forgot to sniff my marker. That's my good luck charm. Still don't smell, by the way. I don't know really
I don't know how to spell
this, but we're going to go with that. Okay, does the timeout help you get it a little bit better?
Okay, so I've seen Dallas Buyers Club. I had it between two answers, and then you guys saying you didn't know how to spell it solidified my answer.
Matthew, all right. Yeah, there we go. It is Matthew McConaughey. It is his birthday today. He is 56 years young. He was named People's Sexiest Man Alive in 2005, just ahead of Jeremy Dodge, by the way. People's Sexiest Man Alive 2025 will be announced later today. That was your morning mystery.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
Time for a look at your school day forecast, brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, we're at -3, -1 in Saskatoon. Clear skies to start the day. A few more clouds making their way into the area for the afternoon hours. By lunch, we'll be at 7 degrees in both cities, and by final bell, 9 degrees for Regina, 8 degrees for Saskatoon, and winds coming in up to about 40 kilometers per hour. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The common cost to fill up is $128.9. You could find regular fuel for as low as $105.9. If you're in Saskatoon this morning, the common cost to fill up is $127.9, but you might find the lowest at $117.9. Taking a look at those farm markets now, the street price of canola is at $565.42 per ton, and the futures price at $622.80 per ton. Amber Durum wheat at $285.94 per ton this morning, and Red Spring wheat at $242.49 per ton. And the Canadian dollar beginning the day trading down at 71.34 cents U.S. After the break, charges now laid over a highway shooting death near Weyburn. Stay with us for the details.
Good morning. Welcome to your morning. It is 7:30. Saskatchewan RCMP major crimes have made an arrest in a Weyburn area death. 44-year-old Tanya Myers was a passenger in a vehicle that was struck by bullets while traveling on Highway 39 near Weyburn on September 12th. Well, on Saturday, Mounties arrested and charged 42-year-old Chris Fahlman with manslaughter, careless use of a firearm, and more. He will be in court later today. Have you checked your kids' Halloween candy yet? Well, parents in East Regina did, and something they found was quite frightening. Regina police say a parent called them after finding a thin piece of metal similar to a needle inside one of the chocolate bars given to their kid. It happened in East Regina. The child was out in the Greens area, specifically on Green Moss Lane, Green Bank Road, Green Apple Drive, Green Water Drive, Green Spruce Place, and Green Brook Road. Yeah, the names of the streets in this area suck. The caller said they found a small hole in the wrapper. It was caught just in time. Police remind you to check all of your kids' Halloween candy. Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc and BC Premier David Eby are among those attending a forestry summit in Vancouver today. BC's forestry and jobs ministers also attending. They're set to discuss ways to support workers and businesses being hit by U.S. tariffs. The goal for the summit is to push for more federal help for the forestry industry in BC. The U.S. government shutdown continues to cause problems for millions of Americans relying on government aid. Funding for federal food assistance programs, or SNAP, is facing delays and uncertainty despite court orders for the government to keep that program running. Millions of Americans are also set to see dramatic rises in health insurance bills thanks to that shutdown. Meanwhile, it's also hitting travelers with hundreds of flight delays registered. It is now the second longest in U.S. history, having entered into its second month. In the UK, 10 people are in hospital, 2 still in life-threatening with injuries after a mass stabbing at a London-bound train.
While 9 were initially believed to have life-threatening injuries, following assessment and treatment, 4, thankful to say, have been discharged. However, 2 patients remain in a life-threatening condition.
The attack happened as a train from Doncaster to London's King's Cross was heading south toward the market town of North Cambridge. Now, in a statement from police, the incident has been declared a major incident. British counter-terrorism police now assisting with that investigation. Banff's Sunshine Village has opened for the ski season. The opening lift took off yesterday morning, if you can believe it. The resort encouraged skiers to come dressed up for Halloween weekend or in Toronto Blue Jays gear. Staff were skiing around, handing out vouchers for people who are in Halloween costumes or celebrating those Toronto Blue Jays. Today is Election Day in Yukon. Voters will choose whether to bring back the Liberals who went into the race as a minority government. Liberal leader Mike Pemberton will also be looking for a seat after taking over the party in June. Voters also have a say on possible election reform. They will be asked a question about moving away from the current system, which is first past the post, in order to move to a ranked ballot system. Many people enjoying pumpkin carving as an annual tradition for Halloween, but what to do with them once they are all done? Here's a space for you looking to get rid of your pumpkin as it's been carved. Here's Sierra D'Souza Butts.
Families are enjoying their last chance to celebrate their creative pumpkin carvings.
We only did one as a family, but it's always a collective effort. The kids design it and draw it onto the pumpkin, and then we cut it out together.
Residents are dropping off their decorated pumpkins near the Saskatchewan Legislative Building, providing one final grand display for the decoratable works of art.
We could go out again tonight, even though we're a little bit tired, and enjoy all the pumpkins one more time together. And it's great to be out in the community and see friends and enjoy another nice evening together.
Over 600 pumpkins were on display this year, exhibiting numerous designs, both classic and inventive, from movie characters to sport team logos, where there was truly something for everyone. Pumpkin Way also featured a mini petting zoo organized by Fenwick Farms, who will be using the pumpkins as animal feed, leaving nothing to waste.
Actually, a couple programs in the city where we get some leftover produce from grocery stores, and I think that's what began it. We were thinking, what happens to all these pumpkins? There was people offering us their pumpkins, and so we decided to have a couple spots in the city where if you wanted to donate, you could drop off there and we'll come pick them up.
The wrap-up of Halloween festivities is not the only time Fenwick Farms offers their services. The family business says it also provides school field trips and birthday parties in an effort to provide different educational experiences to youth all year round. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
While some in Saskatoon are anxiously awaiting snow, Snowmobile Saskatchewan's annual snow show hosted over the weekend to get folks excited about the winter. The show featured a number of snowmobile, snow gear, and other recreational equipment for the winter season. A number of presentations also held throughout the weekend to highlight safety.
And just to really enjoy that time. I know during the cold weather temperatures, maybe they just want to stay indoors, but we really want them to recreate outside, however that may be, on a snowmobile, on their UTVs. Electric bikes are also popular this year. Maybe purchase a brand new truck and trailer to haul all of those power sports around.
Organizers say they've already begun planning for next year. Helen Obiri of Kenya set the women's course record to win the New York City Marathon. She set the record Sunday with a time of 2 hours, 19 minutes, and 51 seconds. On the men's side, Benson Kipruto won gold with a time of 2 hours, 8 minutes, 9 seconds. There he goes, a photo finish revealing he won by a fraction of a second. The 5-Borough Classic marks the end of the 2025 World Marathon Majors calendar. Kayleen, if you see me running, you better run too, because something's probably chasing me. I can't get over it. I can't run for fun.
Well, that's what they say. You only have to be faster than the person that you're with, right? If you're running away from something. But who do you think is faster between the two of us?
Between the two of us? I don't know. Am I running scared or mad?
Maybe there's a competition in our future.
It's probably still you.
We'll see. All right, let's turn our attention to the weather picture here. Things are starting to brighten up out there. It's a really nice shot of the ledge. -3 to wake us up in the Queen City. Nice mix of sun and clouds, although we are going to be seeing more clouds making their way in later on into the afternoon hours. And winds currently coming in at 19 kilometers per hour for Regina and 22 kilometers per hour in Saskatoon, where we're waking up to that temperature of -1 and nice clear skies to start the day. Later on this afternoon, we are going to be seeing those winds going up, especially in areas around Yorkton, Hudson Bay, and Prince Albert, where we could be seeing those winds up to about 50 kilometers per hour. Saskatoon and Regina, we have the possibility of seeing them up to about 40 kilometers per hour this afternoon. The futurecast showing this morning, not seeing a ton of clouds, just a few for the start of the day. Into the afternoon, though, that's when we start to see a lot of those clouds making their way in. Just a little blip on the radar there for some very light precipitation down in the far southwest corner of the province. But really, we're not talking about precipitation until the early morning hours tomorrow. This is at about 3:15 on your screen, and it does come with a wintry mix of flurries, rain, and some in between, some very wet snow there. And then some more on the way, including some more snow later on into the morning. And we have about a 30% chance of some of that reaching Regina. Now into the Wednesday, we're not seeing a lot, but Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we are going to be seeing some more precipitation as well. Current temperatures, 3 degrees for Buffalo Narrows right now, 2 degrees in South End, 1 degree waking us up in Hudson Bay, and 0 degrees in Spiritwood. -3 in Assiniboia, cooler through East End right now, -5, and -1 in Yorkton and Estevan to start the day. Later on this afternoon, we're seeing temperatures, though, above that average for this time of the year, and in fact, it's actually closer to double. So 9 degrees for Swift Current with that cloud cover, 9 degrees for Yorkton, 10 degrees for Estevan, and 11 degrees for Weyburn later on this afternoon. As we mentioned, though, some more precipitation on the way later on in the week. So Thursday with some rain for Regina, and then Friday and Saturday, we're expecting those flurries for Saskatoon. We're seeing a mix of sun and cloud until Thursday. The snow starting a little bit earlier in the week for the central zone. So Thursday starting with the snow, and then Friday and Saturday, we're just going to have that continuing on.
Canadians expect the national economy to get worse over the next year, but most are prepared to pay a price to disentangle it from the United States. This, according to the new Logic poll by Abacus Data. 70% of respondents will accept slower growth in exchange for more freedom from American economic dominance, including 31% who told them that they strongly agreed with that sentiment. Just 19% disagreed. OPEC Plus agreed to make another small output increase in December, but will pause further hikes for the following 3 months as the group balances its push for market share against signs of an emerging supply glut. Key members, led by Saudi Arabia, agreed during a video conference on Sunday to revive about 137,000 barrels a day next month, matching increases scheduled for October and November. China has decided to resume letting travel agencies arrange group tours to Canada to boost exchanges between citizens of the two countries, that according to its Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Now, before the pandemic, Chinese tourists made up about 4% of visitors to Canada, but that group is considered a key group in the industry. Political tensions dropped that number by 2/3 in 2023, and it has not recovered. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Wardrobe consideration by Colin O'Brien Man's Shop, defining contemporary style for over 20 years.
National CEO of the YMCA is coming to Saskatchewan, and you have a chance to hear directly from him. Steve Compton is the CEO of the Regina and Moose Jaw YMCA in studio with us this morning. Steve, thanks for doing this.
Good morning.
Remind everybody out there what the YMCA is all about.
We very much about communities that thrive, where everyone belongs and can be their best self.
It's not more than just the song.
More than just the song. Yeah.
More than just the song.
Definitely.
Now you're holding this speaker series. You got the national CEO coming to town. What's the message that he's going to share and that you want people to hear?
Yeah, what he's going to be able to share is that our YMCA is one of 37 associations across Canada, and Peter Dinsdale is our national CEO, and he's coming in on a Communities That Thrive speaking tour and talking about how the Y works with the community, municipalities, members, volunteers, different levels of government to, you know, make our communities thrive and give people an opportunity to belong and contribute.
How do you do that in this economy and busy lives, busy schedules, all those things?
Yeah, it's, you know, some people would identify with us with the fitness element, or swimming lessons, maybe it's that, or it's our licensed childcare. But we've got we're announcing an opening of a gym in Moose Jaw. We have childcare expansion on our horizon, and lots of community development programs for young people in our community to help them and be their very best as well.
That Moose Jaw piece has been a long time coming. How's it come together for you?
It's feeling good. We're really excited to come back to Moose Jaw with those services. There's a lot of change. I think that's also part of the message, and how our country has changed from the time of the pandemic and how we're responding as local communities. There'll be lots of wisdom to be shared.
Sounds like an exciting time to be a part of the YMCA.
It is. It's, you know, we're in a period of growth. We're in a period of renewal. And Peter is coming through to certain cities across the country, and we're fortunate enough to have him come to Saskatchewan. And he'll be sharing at the Connexus Arts Centre on November 19th in partnership with Mike Tate and the awesome team at the Chamber of Commerce here in Regina. And he'll be speaking, and we'd like the opportunity for people to come out and listen. The Ys are the same across communities, but they're unique across communities as well, too.
Why? Why should somebody come out?
It's a chance to hear about what's possible within a community, how local businesses, how individuals, how volunteers, or as a member, how you can help and be part of something that is good for you as an individual, but also gives you a chance to be part of a community with others.
Chances for people to also become a part of the organization in a volunteer capacity?
Absolutely. Yeah, you know, volunteers, particularly in our community development and our fitness programs, a lot of those programs tend to be volunteers that have been committed to the Y for years and years and years, and we're very fortunate.
Got about 20 seconds left. Let's give a plug to the Y Mind program that you've developed over the last little while.
Yeah, it's a mental health program for young people that are experiencing mild to moderate anxiety, and it gives them some coping mechanisms, and Y Mind's a good example of the things that are going on around the country. We were successful with the pilot and able to continue it here in Regina and Moose Jaw.
Thanks for doing this, Steve. Appreciate it. And you can find all the information you need to know on the YMCA's website. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Here's what's happening in our community. The Art Guild Show and Sale happens November 6th through 8th. Starts at 10 in the morning. Saskatchewan Research and Technology Park. That's 10 Research Drive. AuroraArtGuild.com for more. Let's Dance Regina Social Club. Friday, November 7th at 7:30 p.m. at 2134 Winnipeg Street. That's the Regina Senior Center. Call 306-331-7290. The Old Time Dance Club happens that same night, 7:30. Rival Dance Clubs. Cecilia's Banquet Hall. This one's out in Weyburn. 306-861-9929. Jingle for the Park Trade and Craft Sale. Just in time for Christmas. Saturday, November 8th, 11 a.m. Heritage United Church. That's 1050 North Arneson Street. 306-529-2850. If you'd like your event shown here, email us, reginacommunity@bellmedia.ca, but please do so at least 2 weeks in advance.
It's November 3rd, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a couple belated wishes from over the weekend. A big happy birthday going out to James, who turned 1 year older over the weekend. We hope it was a great one, with many more to come. Love, your wife, Joyce. Happy birthday to FJ, who turned 13 years old on the 31st. Welcome to teenagehood. Lots of love from the Fridays. And we're also sending a big happy birthday wish out to Cadence. She's celebrating today. The Friday family also sending you a whole lot of love for your special special day. We hope you enjoy it. Turning 1 today is Ava. Happy birthday to you. Have a great day with your family. They love you so much. Turning 13 years old is Layla. Happy birthday to you, Layla. A lot of love and well wishes coming your way from your mom and dad. Enjoy. We're also sending birthday wishes out to Jean today. We're told she's a super fun mom and grandma. This shout out coming with love from the whole family. Happy birthday wishes also going out to Chris today on his 71st birthday. Lots of love coming to you from your family and your friends. Have a great day. If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca, or you can also scan that QR code on your screen right now, but make sure you send those in at least 1 day in advance.
Let's check back in with Janella Pye, who is in Bullier this morning, this time with chickens.
All right, well, we have made it outside to the chicken coop here in Bullier. Now, Justine, tell me a little bit about these chickens. What are we teaching the kids with this?
So we are teaching the life cycle of a chicken. Last year, one of our families actually brought in little eggs, and we incubated them and got to see them hatch. And our kids are taking care of the chickens. So they have chicken chores. So every day, there's 3 or 4 students that come out. They collect the eggs. They feed the chickens. They give them water. And then we're just teaching a whole bunch of different curricular outcomes with the chickens.
Amazing and very important lessons here. Now, I'm very curious about this structure. Did you guys build this? How did you come about this building for the chickens here?
So our chicken mansion is what it's been called, was actually built by a school in Horizon School Division. Punashai Community High School built it for us. They have a program, and some of those students built it, and we got a grant from Nutrien to support that funding.
Amazing. And these children here, the students, they do have chores. Do you find that they're excited to get out here and do those chores with the chickens?
They definitely are, especially if they are on egg collecting. So we're getting roughly about 2 dozen eggs a week, which is awesome. And then we're going to use those eggs to cook for our breakfast program.
Fantastic. And how long do you keep these chickens around for?
They're going to be here just for the school year, and then in the summer they'll disappear, and then we'll get new ones in the fall.
Amazing. All right. Well, this is fantastic. By far the cutest thing I have ever seen. I would like to have a chicken now. Justine, thank you so much. We're going to be back one more time here this morning, so stay tuned for that.
Chase, I need to come hide at the radio station today. I beat the boss in fantasy football, and I don't think that we should probably interact today.
You know what? I beat him as well in fantasy football a couple weeks ago too. So we can hide together. There's a couple spots here at the station.
Yikes! What's going on the radio today?
Well, we're going to talk about life expectancy, actually, and how you might want to pay a little more attention to your kid's report card, because that could actually mean how long you are looking to live as well. So we'll get you details there. Got your Country Minute on the way, too. 100 years at the Opry. They're going to have the big celebration coming up at the end of the month, but they already have the new album on the way for it. Just capitalize putting together that 100 years. And two, if you're a fan of Dolly Parton, a new hotel going to be opening up. Dolly Parton Museum in there too, and 2 stages for live music. So we'll get you the details where that's going up and when it'll be open.
We're really starting to lose it. Being stuck in here. No end in sight.
The latest trailer for the 5th and final season of Stranger Things is out. The town of Hawkins, Indiana looks nearly unrecognizable as the alternate universe of the Upside Down continues to spill out into the real world. Linda Hamilton joins the cast as an antagonist. The first 4 episodes drop November 26th on Netflix, with more to follow in December. Morgan Wallen has announced a new stadium tour. The country star will play more than 20 shows, kicking off in Minneapolis on April 10th. Tickets for the Still the Problem tour go on sale next week. Yellowstone creator Taylor Sheridan has signed on to co-write a new movie based on the Call of Duty video game franchise. It'll be directed by Peter Berg, who's been behind the Friday Night Lights movie and television series. Happy birthday to Peter Jackson, director of the Lord of the Rings films. The 3-time Oscar winner is 64. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News.
Playing in a splash pad is always fun with friends, even of the feathered kind. were so excited to get a bigger splash pad. They couldn't even contain themselves. Look at those flapping wings.
We have this one at home, this exact splash pad. It's awesome.
Oh, now we just have to get you some ducks. Would Sarah be mad if I dropped off duck eggs at your house?
She wants ducks, chickens. She would take all. She's an ecologist. She wants
turkeys,
all of the things.
Why won't you get your wife some ducks?
Why not, right? Chicken and duck, just like friends. Might as well. Finally, the fanciest way to pay the cheese tax to your dog. Dog's name is Toast, by the way. Can we talk about how great a name that is?
That's a really good name.
Pretty good name.
Cheese
Also,
Toast.
It was also Mike Thomas's nickname in college football. Because if you got by you were toast. That's what Jason Claremont always used to say. This is cheese just grated directly into the mouth.
That's how I want my cheese. If I go to Olive Garden and they say when, I'm not saying when.
You need that circular one that comes out more stringy.
Yeah.
That's the one you need. Just right into the gullet. Just time out. We're going to do more news, more weather, and all kinds of things right after this short time out. It's Monday, November 3rd.
We don't need a higher cost of living through a higher costed budget.
A lot of opinions this morning as the Liberal minority government gets set to table its first budget.
The number of people that die from lung cancer is more than that die from colon, breast, and prostate combined.
Canadian Cancer Society has now unveiled a decade-long national plan with the goal of cutting lung cancer deaths by 30%.
Back up high, McKenzie across. There is Lee. Scores!
Do you want to build a snowman? The Oil Kings did yesterday on the Broncos, scoring 8 goals. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning. Happy Monday.
What's new? What's going on? What's happening? What's exciting?
I mean, I lost my fantasy football yesterday to my sister-in-law. That was a bummer. How are you doing in your league?
I beat the boss, so I have to hide now or something.
As soon as he comes in today, I'm going to say, he's here.
So if
He's
she's
right
sitting
here.
in this chair tomorrow, I'm either sick or fired.
Won't that be
unfortunate for me and pretty good for you? Let's go on to news for this part of the hour. Mark Carney's Liberal government is putting the finishing touches on tomorrow's federal budget. This will be the first fiscal update in almost a year and Carney's first as Prime Minister. Since the spring election, key Canadian industries have taken a sharp hit from the U.S. trade war. A weaker economy means lower revenues for the government. A former assistant parliamentary budget officer says the budget will need to focus on investment and growth as Canada struggles with the fallout of that trade war.
We're dealing with, industries and workers that are actually struggling under the weight of this. And we're seeing incredibly aggressive industrial policy on the side of the United States. So this government will have to respond.
New polling shows Canadians are split on what should exactly be the top priority this budget. New Nanos surveys shows that Canadians are willing to accept a higher level of spending if it means investing in Canadian programs. Support for the idea is up to 47%, but it remains pretty much tied with people hoping for a balanced budget that cuts taxes. Regina police have launched a death investigation after a man's body was found early Saturday morning. This one happened at a home on the 1000 block of 12th Avenue shortly after 1 a.m. on November 1st. Police say the area was secured. You see the police tape on your screen. Forensics brought in. The investigation is in its early stages and no other information, including the victim's name, is being released. If you saw something, call police or Crime Stoppers. Have you checked your kids' Halloween candy? Parents in East Regina did, and what they found was quite frightening. Regina police say a parent called them after finding a thin piece of metal similar to a needle inside one of their kids' chocolate bars. It happened in East Regina. The kid was out in the greens, specifically the Green Moss Lane, Bank Road, Apple, Greenwater Drive, Green Spruce Place, and Greenbrook Road. They're all called greens in that area. That's why, apparently, it's apropos. The caller said they found a small hole in the wrapper. There was metal inside. It was caught in time. Police reminding you now to check over all of your kids' Halloween candy. Those seeking medical attention in Saskatoon met with some unwelcome news over the weekend. Jeremy Dodge, what was that news and who was impacted?
Daryl, Saskatoon City Hospital's emergency room had to operate with adjusted hours yesterday. According to the Saskatchewan Health Authority, the ER closed at 3 p.m. because of a, quote, unforeseen physician unavailability. Anybody needing emergent care after 3 p.m. was encouraged to visit St. Paul's Hospital or Royal University Hospital. Well, some people in Saskatoon and Saskatchewan are anxiously awaiting snow. Snowmobile Saskatchewan's annual snow show was hosted over the weekend to get folks excited about winter. The show featured a number of snowmobiles, snow gear, and other recreational equipment for the winter season. A number of presentations also held throughout the weekend to highlight ways to stay safe outside.
And just to really enjoy that time, I know during the cold weather temperatures, maybe they just want to stay indoors, but we really want them to recreate outside, however that may be, on a snowmobile, on their UTVs. Electric bikes are also popular this year. Maybe purchase a brand new truck and trailer to haul all of those power sports around.
Organizers say they have already begun planning for next year's show. It's scheduled for November 6th. Well, Daryl, it was a rough weekend for Jays fans.
Yeah, they're a little heartbroken. Fans grieving a bit this morning. They're also looking back on a powerful and proud season the country won't forget. Here's Kamil Karamali on the fallout.
Grounder to short, and the Dodgers turn it.
This is the sound of millions of hearts breaking across the country. The Blue Jays in a World Series Game 7, inches from winning it all, only to lose in extra innings. A fairy tale run without the storybook ending. The hangover the next morning has Jays fans like James Yamada trying to cope with the crushing heartache.
Watching each day, what it's done for me, and now my daughter passing on to her, it's meant so much.
But despite the pain, you'll still see Jays hats, flags,
go Jays,
and shirts. Because what this team did for this city and this country won't be stopped by a Game 7 loss.
They brought Toronto, the whole of Canada together.
What's traditionally called America's national pastime, for a few weeks was taken over by Canada.
The Jays kind of represent, Canada's national pride, especially, like sticking it to the U.S. a bit, which would have been nice.
During a time of tariffs and trade war, when the country needed unity, the Blue Jays brought it.
Given the climate, I think there was a little more to it in terms of country versus country, and being the only Canadian team.
The excitement giving a needed economic boost, hotels flooded with tourists, bars packed, restaurants overflowing, profits surging.
We've seen an increase anywhere from 30 to 50% for all games. So last night in particular, it was packed from the moment we opened our doors.
All of it inspiring a new generation of young Canadians to pick up a bat.
I got these socks for my daughter.
Giving James Yamada hope that his daughter, now a fan, will one day watch the Jays win it all.
This summer, she started T-ball, and she just got so into the Blue Jays, watching every game, every night with me.
And to the Blue Jays, this message from your fans.
Thank you, Toronto Blue Jays.
Thank all of you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Toronto.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jays.
For uniting a nation together. Kamil Karamali, CTV News, Toronto.
U.S. President Donald Trump will not be attending the upcoming U.S. Supreme Court arguments deciding on the legality of his global tariffs.
Without tariffs, without our being able to use tariffs freely, openly, and in every way, we would suffer tremendously from a national security standpoint. The national security of our country is at stake. It's the biggest, I think it's one of the biggest decisions in the history of the Supreme Court.
America's highest court is set to begin hearing arguments Wednesday, stemming from a lower court ruling that Trump overstepped his authority when he invoked the International Emergency Economic Powers Act to impose most of his tariffs. The case will be closely watched in Canada, which still faces the threat of an additional 10% tariff from Trump over Ontario's anti-tariff ad campaign. But the ruling won't affect tariffs that are already in place on Canadian steel, aluminum, autos, and lumber. Voters in Yukon will head to the polls today to choose their next territorial government and to have a possible say on electoral reform. The Yukon Liberals went into the race as a minority government. This will be the first election with 21 ridings after several boundaries were redrawn. Yukoners will also be asked to vote in a non-binding plebiscite on whether to change the current first-past-the-post electoral system to a ranked ballot. Staying healthy is more than just fixing what's broken. It's about being healthy in the first place, and that was the message at Saskatoon's Wellness Expo over the weekend. Carla Shinkaruk was there.
At Prairieland Park this past weekend, the buzz wasn't just about fitness or nutrition. It was about a full-circle approach to feeling good. The Saskatoon Wellness Expo was back for a 17th year, bringing together dozens of exhibitors and experts from across the country, from Newfoundland to Vancouver, all focused on what organizers call proactive health.
Canada has a great medical system, but it's called reactive healthcare. You can't go see a doctor or go to the hospital or do something without having a problem, and then you hope that somebody can help you treat the symptoms or the repercussions from that problem.
Rick Thiessen and his wife have been hosting expos like this across Canada for nearly 2 decades, and he says awareness is growing fast.
The education of society has become more cognizant of proactive health. Don't let the illness show up. Eat well, drink well, exercise well, spiritually be connected.
Visitors explored everything from healthy eating and mental wellness to financial planning, even square dancing demonstrations. New exhibitor Drip Wellness offered information on IV supplements.
It is a great way to receive vitamins just because it bypasses your GI tract. It goes directly into your bloodstream or your muscle, so your body is able to absorb it better.
As a nurse, she says the expo helps raise awareness about alternative health options that many Saskatoon residents haven't tried before. Another booth, Serious Health Thai Massage, offered free sessions for visitors.
And as soon as we put you on the floor and do something, they realize, oh my God, this is amazing.
Owner Grant Martin says the event connects him directly with the people who need his services most.
So almost everybody who walks through the door is looking for something with their health that isn't working with Western medicine. Almost 100% whoever lies down becomes a client.
About 3,000 people attended, each taking one more step towards a healthier lifestyle. Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The Edmonton Oil Kings beat up the Swift Current Broncos yesterday.
Back up high, McKenzie across. There is Lee. Scores!
Pretty good crowd on hand there. Max Curran, 2 goals, 3 assists to help lead the Oil Kings to an 8-4 win over the Broncos yesterday in Edmonton. Broncos winless in their last 5. Let's get over to our weather center and talk to, you said your sister-in-law is pretty happy with you at this moment.
Well, so I just texted her and I said, hey, I was talking about how I lost fantasy football. And she said, hey, there's no shame in losing to the best.
You'll get her next time.
Next time.
Slugger.
Next year, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, let's turn our attention to this morning view. It's brought to you by recyclemyelectronics.ca, where you can find a drop-off location near you. In Regina, we are still at -2 to wake us up. So a cool start to the day. Later on in the afternoon, temperatures won't be so bad, though above the seasonal average, so that's nice to see. Winds currently coming in at 19 kilometers per hour in Regina, 20 kilometers per hour in Saskatoon, where we're starting to see a very nice sunrise. Go outside and enjoy it. We're at 0 degrees, so although it's a little bit cool, you can just throw on a light jacket. Futurecast right now showing we're not seeing a whole lot of cloud cover down towards the south for the start of the day, but as we head into those afternoon hours, that's when we see all that cloud cover moving in. Still a little bit of sunshine expected to poke through those clouds later on, though. Not a whole lot of precipitation, just a few little blips on the radar down towards the southwest corner of the province. We're mainly talking about some more precipitation making its way in overnight and into the early morning hours tomorrow. So you can see that on your screen. It's going to be a wintry mix of rain and snow, all those colors on your screen, and then some more purple indicating those flurries are going to be coming in a little bit later on in the morning. About a 30% chance we see that reaching Regina tomorrow morning, but it's not for certain on the radar right now. Now today's forecast with those temperatures showing 9 degrees for Swift Current, Moose Jaw up to about 11 degrees, Yorkton up to 9, but we are seeing the stronger winds over in the Parkland region today. 11 degrees for Weyburn and Estevan up to about 10 degrees today. Let's take a look at this almanac now, because we said that we are going to be above the average, but just how much is what you may be wondering. So the average for Regina this time of year is 4.6, 3.5 for Saskatoon, and the highs today expected to be 9 degrees for Regina and 8 degrees for Saskatoon. So it is nice to see those temperatures above that average. Last year, though, Regina was a little bit warmer at 11 degrees, the Saskatoon a bit cooler at 6 degrees, and the records for both cities were back in the year 1903. That was 22.8 for Regina and 21.7 for Saskatoon. Now, the 7-day forecast, we mentioned that about a 30% chance of seeing some light rain tomorrow morning in Regina, but a higher chance of seeing that rain coming in on Thursday and then turning to flurries on Friday and Saturday. Looks like things will be clearing up on Sunday, but cooler, -2 with that mix of sun and cloud. In Saskatoon, we're seeing some snow moving in on Thursday. You can expect a nice mix of sun and cloud until that day, and then that snow will be continuing on into Friday and Saturday, ending the weekend, though, with a nice mix of sun and cloud and 3 degrees.
Third, 1998, Alice Munro won the Giller Prize for fiction. November 3rd, 1817, back a few more years, the Bank of Montreal opened its very first branch. November 3rd, 1995, first games for the new NBA expansion teams in Canada, the Toronto Raptors and Vancouver Grizzlies, happened.
In case you missed it, advancements in pet health. If you can't bring the big cat to the CT machine, you bring the machine to the cat.
Oh, wow.
Yes, for the first time in history, the Big Cat Sanctuary in the UK used a portable CT scan to check on the animals. So, you know, cats get aches, they get pains as they grow older, just like us. The scan helps make sure everything is as okay. And when the results come in, the sanctuary decides on treatment if any is needed. So
when you said cats, I did not expect that.
No, an actual tiger. Oh, look at that one.
Big
Beautiful
cats.
Wow.
Stunning creatures.
Yeah.
Look at how tame that one is.
Well, he's very much
very
tranquilized.
sedated, yeah.
Very much.
I'm not sure yet.
I didn't realize that one was also asleep. My bad.
You don't want that patient waking up. Oh, my goodness.
That's my bad, folks.
Question of the day. Dictionary. Dictionary, you're gonna recover. Dictionary.com says 6'7" is the word of the year, which isn't even a word because it has no definition. But what was the big catchphrase when you were in high school? We had some fun ones come in over the last hour.
You know what? I need to click one slide forward to tie this in, because Michelle had said "my bad" was one of the quotes that was really popular back in 1993.
How could I forget "as if"?
Yeah.
As if.
Oh, and talk to the hand.
Oh, yeah.
The hand, the face ain't listening.
And then Michelle says, "I still use my bad to this day." And when I read it, I thought, I still use that all the time.
My bad just became my B.
Yeah, it's
my B.
Let's go back one slide here now, though. Donna's saying wicked awesome. We also had another answer saying groovy, which I feel like I've heard Jeremy say before on the show.
That word. He likes that word.
Me? I don't
feel
think
like
so.
I have. Maybe it just feels like a Jeremy word. When I see the word groovy, I think Jeremy Dodge.
It's Director Corey. He says groovy all the time.
No, the word groovy just oozes Jeremy Dodge energy.
It has.
I don't get it.
You're just a groovy guy. Dorothy's saying,
I guess so.
Dorothy's saying, "Here comes the fuzz." That's the one from her high school year. This one, Daryl kind of had to explain to me, but I understood it once he said it. So remember the phrase "way, no way."
Way, no way.
Wayne's World.
Yeah, Wayne's World.
I think I've heard it before when somebody says "no way" and then you respond by saying "way."
We're gonna start doing that in the office here.
Yeah. And then, of course, "gag me with a spoon" and "grody to the max." Very popular answers this morning. Thank you for this little blast from the past.
The Canadian Cancer Society has unveiled a national plan to reduce lung cancer deaths by 30% over the next decade. It was unveiled at a conference in Calgary over the weekend, and CTV's Kevin Green has more.
Lung cancer remains Canada's deadliest cancer. The Canadian Cancer Society says that needs to change, and in a new action plan outlines 4 priorities to do that. Reduce exposure to harmful inhalants, detect cancer earlier, improve access to care, and accelerate research.
Canada is experiencing a lung cancer crisis, and despite advances in treatment and detection, we're still seeing lung cancer as the highest cause of cancer death.
The plan also addresses stigma, the misconception that lung cancer only affects people who smoke.
Radon exposure, wildfire smoke, and other environmental exposures, occupational exposures. Really, when we looked at the action plan, it's the things you breathe that can cause cancers that we're trying to help people work against.
Thoracic surgeon Dr. Christian Finley says the numbers show why change is urgent.
The number of people that die from lung cancer is more than that die from colon, breast, and prostate combined.
The funding for breast cancer research is 6 times the amount we have for lung cancer.
For Jan Pizarro, who has survived lung cancer 3 times, the focus on early detection is critical.
I think we need to shift the conversation, and we need to talk about the fact that there is a cure for lung cancer if we find it early, that we have early detection, and that we need to move to make that more available.
The Canadian Cancer Society says its plan aims to reduce lung cancer deaths by 30% over the next 10 years and to hold governments, clinicians, and advocates accountable to that goal. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
All right, let's head out again and find Mike Siona. He's talking design this morning.
Well, one final time this morning here at the Ramey Modern Art Gallery with Sarah Lipset, who is the chair of the Saskatchewan Design Council, on this very exciting biennial Saskatchewan Design Week. And, of course, when you have something every 2 years, obviously the big Premier's Awards. Talk to me about that.
That's right. So any design professional in those 6 categories have submitted some projects for awards. This could be anything from the St. Francis Cree Bilingual School that we had, also have a tour of. It could be for graphic design, it could be for landscape architecture, and there's a number of professional jury members who are judging these, as well as a People's Choice Award that'll be up on our website too, so you can vote for your favorite.
Very cool. I love that. So that's something for the professionals, but for the every person, we've got an amazing, a scavenger hunt and surprising?
Yes, that's right. So the scavenger hunt is probably the most family-friendly. It's a great way to get your kids involved, to come out, and you'll be hunting for the different design projects around the city. So it could take about an hour or so of your time on Saturday. And we have a great grand prize that's been donated to us by AVI SPL, and that's a 65-inch brand new TV. So if you come out for the scavenger hunt and you drop off your little booklet, you'll be entered into the draw.
Fantastic. I love that. It's all about Saskatchewan Design Week. All of the details are on the website. Hard Hat Tours in Saskatoon, Hard Hat Tours in Regina, and a great opportunity just to celebrate design and what's possible here in the province of Saskatchewan. Sarah, thanks so much for the morning. Get all the details on the website. It's on the screen right now. And good luck. Somebody's going to win a 65-inch TV.
I'm down at Automobility Medical Regina here this morning. I've got Sherry with me, and today, Sherry, we're talking a little bit about these stair lifts.
We are. These stair lifts are amazing. They are made by Merritts. They're the highest weight capacity of all stair lifts. So they go up to, I believe, 375 pounds. They have a ton of safety features on them, and they're very, very reasonably priced. It takes us usually half a day to put one in your home, and then you're set to be able to go up and down the stairs with ease.
Fantastic. And you just got a bunch in, didn't you?
Yes, we did. So we have some stair lifts to sell.
Awesome. And there really is something for everybody. How do you determine what is best for you?
Well, people usually know that when they're going to be wanting a stair lift. A lot of people don't want to leave their home. It's so much more expensive to go into a care facility or into a condo or whatever. And doing little things like this in your home will keep you there longer.
Yes, absolutely, which is so important and great to hear. What kind of safety features do these have?
They have a ton of safety features. So they have a remote at the top and a remote at the bottom, and you can leave them there. So if someone's gotten up in the morning or the night and they've taken it down to the bottom, then you can use the remote up top and call it back to you so that you can get down to the bottom too. And then there is also, you could drive it with this here on the arm, and if, say, your grandchildren or whoever or your cat is on the steps and won't move for you, these plates up and down, they just touch anything. They're very sensitive, and it stops immediately so that you don't hurt your poor little kitty.
Well, a very important feature then. These are fantastic. Where are you located? How can people get their hands on some of these stair lifts?
We are at 1444 Lawrence Street. Just come down 8th Street because Dooney is still a mess, and you will find us there.
Awesome. All right, Sherry. Well, once again, it was a pleasure to chat with you. Thank you so much for walking us through this. That's all from us down here at Auto Mobility Medical Regina.
I say welcome to your morning. It is 8:30. This just in, the 100th edition of the Brier will be played in Saskatoon in 2027. The event will happen at SaskTel Centre from February 26th to March 7th of 2027. The very first Brier, in case you were wondering, was hosted in Toronto in 1927, featured 8 teams, and was won by Nova Scotia's Murray McNeil. There's your fun fact for today. This will be the 8th time the Brier was hosted in Saskatoon. Tickets will go on sale in the spring of 2026. Saskatchewan RCMP Major Crimes has made an arrest in a Weyburn area death. 44-year-old Tanya Myers was a passenger in a vehicle that was struck by bullets while traveling on Highway 39 near Weyburn on September 12th. Saturday, Mounties arrested and charged 42-year-old Chris Fallman from Regina with manslaughter, careless use of a firearm, and more. He will be in court in Regina later today. China has decided to resume group tours for Chinese citizens traveling to Canada just days after the Prime Minister met with Chinese President Xi Jinping. A Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson said this morning the decision follows comprehensive consideration of the travel demands of Chinese citizens. According to a spokesperson, the move is expected to enhance people-to-people exchanges between China and Canada and foster mutual understanding and friendship between the two countries. The announcement ends a prolonged COVID-19 freeze that left Canada off China's outbound tour list, even as group travel resumed to more than 130 other destinations. There is a push for change to the National Amber Alert system following the disappearance of a 6-year-old boy near the Alberta-BC border. Friends and community members came together to raise awareness for Darius's Law and show support for the young boy and his family. Darius McDougall went missing in the Crowsnest Pass on September 21st while camping with family. Search and rescue crew spent 11 days searching the area, but then called off the search once resources were exhausted. Now, a petition is aiming to reform the missing children's cases and how they're handled in Canada.
I never realized how rigid our Amber Alert criteria is. And so this whole story, you know, it made me privy and made me research that, and I realized there's a dangerous gap in our system and we need to close that gap now.
The online petition has more than 14,000 signatures. Organizers plan to bring that petition to Parliament in Ottawa to get the current law updated. Alberta parents are relieved the teachers' strike ended last week, but they are far from celebrating. Educators were forced back to work after the government used the notwithstanding clause, and many families say overcrowded classrooms continue to be an issue. Kathy Lee reports.
At this dedicated workspace, 5-year-old Noseba's parents are her educators when at home. Both happy the teacher's strike is over and that she's back in kindergarten.
We are relieved.
But still worried about overcrowded class sizes, an issue that hasn't gone away.
The problem they had is still there.
those problems are not addressed. So that's the main concern.
Educators were forced to return to the classroom last week after the government invoked the notwithstanding clause, overriding some rights and freedoms to pass the back to work legislation. The new bill imposes a 4-year contract that teachers overwhelmingly rejected because they say it does not meet the demands in the classroom.
We didn't expect that anybody will force to go back. We expected that both parties will sit down and come in a mutual solution.
The UCP's move sparked a province-wide walkout, with thousands of students leaving class to support their teachers.
They are teachers and give us the education we deserve because this isn't fair.
And it pushed the Alberta Federation of Labour to warn a general strike could be next, but it stopped short of declaring an official one.
Tens or hundreds of thousands of workers all agree to walk off the job at the same time. We are seeing a level of strike activity and organizing activity that we haven't seen since the 1980s.
As the labor dispute continues to unfold, Noseba's parents wondering how their daughter will handle public school if the environment doesn't improve.
I feel my daughter will be very behind.
Probably want my daughter to get some special care, like not too many students in a one crowded class.
Until that happens, they're digging deep, paying for some private tutoring to keep her future from falling through the cracks. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Calgary.
As we look ahead to this week's federal budget, today we are focusing in on Canada's agriculture industry facing trade, inflation, and weather challenges this year. Alison Bamford reports.
On the heels of harvest, Dean Roberts is already preparing for next year's crop. He's spraying herbicides before the snow falls and planning around the uncertainty of China's canola tariffs.
Anytime your second largest market is in jeopardy, you start asking questions about how much of that crop should I invest in for next year.
Canola typically makes up 25% of Roberts' crops, and like all canola producers, he stands to lose revenue the longer Chinese tariffs drag on.
Farmers shouldn't have to borrow their way out of this trade dispute.
In September, Ottawa announced measures to help stabilize and diversify the ag sector, including a new biofuel production incentive and an increase in interest-free advances for canola farmers.
It's about being patient.
Industry groups hope to see more help with diversifying canola trade in the federal budget, but above all, they want a deal with China.
The longer this goes on, I think the more we will be thinking about what farmers will need to maintain their viability, but getting that market open is the top priority.
Farmers further south continue calling for relief from all levels of government. 9 years of consecutive drought in parts of southwestern Saskatchewan have dried up crops along with farm revenue. And what little they did produce this year is worth a lot less, with overall crop prices dropping.
Everyone's doing their best, trying to, be positive, but it's really tough. There's not a lot to be positive about.
Hope now lies with a tariff resolution and better weather for next growing season. Without either, farmers could face one of the most challenging years yet. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
In an era when young men and women are facing a crisis of connection, in Dallas, Texas, their newest young social media star is looking for answers and even helping others find love. Ryan Chandler reports.
What a beautiful day. Take a stroll down Dallas's Katy Trail.
Hey, I have a question. Are you single?
And your cardio may turn into a heart-to-heart.
He's taken.
Elsbeth Wempe is trying to get to the bottom of Gen Z's dating woes.
Oh, awesome. When was the last time you kissed a girl?
It's been a minute.
When was the last time you went on a date?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
Have you ever ghosted a girl?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Okay.
Candid conversations like that have earned her millions of views. What's your line?
My line is, hey, I'm a dating journalist.
As she tries to help young people search for a spark that seems harder than ever to find.
It's so bad right now. The dating culture, I think a lot of people are distracted by the apps, social media, comparison culture, and need help searching for themselves.
What are the biggest complaints you hear from people about modern dating?
people ghost, people do not commit. They kind of just treat others like trash.
The youngest Americans are facing a crisis of connection. About 2/3 of Gen Z and millennials say they're lonely, many yearning for community outside of a screen.
It rings true in my friend group and in a broader social sense. Folks are getting married later, having children later.
And more than 3/4 of Gen Z and millennials say they're burnt out by the dating apps.
Are you on the dating apps?
No.
No, not at all.
Hate the dating apps. Many say people disappoint them or they just can't find a good connection.
What do you think it says about how people feel about dating nowadays that they connect so much with your page?
Because I'm catching people in the raw moment, sweaty, on the trail, in nature, in their element.
And that authenticity, that vulnerability is what's missing.
Yes.
But I'll be honest, I tried to put myself in her subject's shoes.
Cheers?
Cheers.
Cheers.
This is
And
hilarious.
It's harder than it seems.
When was the last time you went on a date?
Oh, gosh. No comment. No. I'm used to asking the questions around here.
Okay.
But for all her questions, the answer may be inside ourselves.
What you think about yourself is a reflection of who's a match for you. If you're very focused on yourself, then the sky's the limit.
Look away, Jays fans. You probably don't want to see this. The LA Dodgers will be celebrating repeat World Series championships with a parade.
11 a.m. downtown on Grand Avenue. Join us for a peaceful rally and celebration of our Dodgers.
LA Mayor Karen Bass says more than 200,000 people are expected to turn out to today's parade. Celebrations will conclude with an event at Dodger Stadium. The Department of Transportation will deploy traffic officers. The Dodgers are the first team to repeat as World Series champs since the Yankees won 3 in a row from 1999 to 2001. Yankees, gag me with a spoon.
Am I right?
Way. No way.
Grody to the max.
We've been reliving all of our old, and Bailey behind the camera is just weirded out by all our old people slang.
Hey, I'm not an old person yet. I'm 28. Leave me out of this. All right, let's shift our focus here over to the Weather Center. Not bad to start the day, -2, but that is where we have been stuck for about the past hour or so here. Winds still coming in at 19 kilometers per hour. A few more clouds have started to make their way into the area. 0 degrees to wake us up in Saskatoon. We were seeing very clear skies. Now just a few clouds again have made their way over. 20 kilometer per hour winds to start the day. Those will be increasing up to about 40 kilometers per hour later on into the afternoon. Futurecast, as I mentioned, we're seeing a lot of sunshine to start the day, but more clouds making their way in as we head towards those afternoon hours. We are mainly talking about that precipitation coming into play when we look towards those overnight hours and very early tomorrow morning. It's going to start down in that southwest corner, right along the border with Alberta and the United States. And then it's going to be tracking eastward, bringing some snow with it to areas around Assiniboia there tomorrow morning. And then some rain down through Estevan into the later parts of the morning. By the afternoon, though, it should be clearing up, as well as some of those clouds starting to clear as well. Current temperatures now, we're seeing more areas into those positive temperatures. So this is positive. 3 degrees in Buffalo Narrows now, 2 degrees in Nipawin. 0 degrees, though, in Melfort, so cooler there. -5 over in Kindersley, -6 in East End, and -3 in Assiniboia. So some areas we are still cool this morning. Later on this afternoon, we're seeing temperatures above that seasonal average for many places. The Battlefords, 8 degrees this afternoon, 9 degrees for Regina, 11 degrees for Weyburn, and 10 degrees for Estevan later on. Now let's take a look at this 7-day forecast. So we mentioned that tomorrow we do have about a 30% chance of that system that we were talking about on the Futurecast reaching Regina. So it's not for sure, but just know that there's a chance earlier on. 9 degrees tomorrow with that, 6 degrees on Wednesday with that mix of sun and cloud. And then in many areas across the province, we're talking about precipitation impacting us for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, whether that be the rain or the snow. For Regina on Thursday, that's likely going to be just rain, and then snow on Friday and Saturday, mix of sun and cloud on Sunday. For Saskatoon, however, we're talking about the flurries starting a little bit earlier in the work week. That's on Thursday, carrying us into Friday and Saturday, and then again clearing up on Sunday with that nice mix of sun and cloud. This is the time, though, folks, that we start talking about having the potential for that snow to be sticking.
Take it coming back like a revolving door. Said I want you less, but I just want you more. Take it coming back. The way you got me all in my head. Think I'd rather you in my bed. We dreaming hard, we came so far now. I believe we're going up, up, up.
Let's head back out to Beaulieu once more to see what Janelle is getting up to on the farm.
All right, well, we are wrapping things up this morning in the garden. This is a beautiful space, a giant space, too, so lots to learn. I've got Justine back with me and, of course, Kevin here, the director of Horizon School Division. Now, Kevin, from your perspective, how have you seen this entire plan and all of the programs roll out?
Oh, it's been tremendous for our students. The learning that they're gaining from having agricultural education happening in our system in this school, and has just been tremendous. And so it is a focus across our organization. We've got lots of amazing things happening, and this is just one of the incredible things that leadership like Justine and her team have put forward in order to really provide great opportunities for our kids.
Fantastic. Well, this is a wonderful opportunity. And speaking of which, Justine, what kind of lessons are the staff here teaching the students by owning a garden and being able to take care of it?
So we talk lots about, we talked about life cycles of chickens. We also talk life cycle of plants. The students also tend and take care of the garden. And then we harvest the vegetables and actually make things out of the vegetables. So we did make salsa this year and last year.
That's fantastic. And now that we're getting into the colder seasons and it's not quite the time for a garden, how do you guys teach those students that, you know, winter's coming, we've got to pull things out, we've got to take care of things? What does that process look like for you?
So they actually come in, they've got little bags and they harvest all the vegetables. We take them into the school, and then the next step is actually processing them and creating things out of the vegetables.
I think that is fantastic. How have you seen the children respond to having a garden?
They love it, especially when they get to eat it. We do like a salsa and chips day, and they get to eat everything, and they really enjoy it.
That's fantastic. All right. Well, once again, thank you both so much for being here this morning. I had a ton of fun. This is great, and that's all from us down here in Beaulieu.
Well, farming is more than a full-time job, and with the fields hopefully harvested, we turn our focus to the financial season. We are joined by Lee Canning from Affinity Credit Union. And Lee, how has harvest been in 2025?
Well, overall, Saskatchewan farmers have had a good 2025 harvest. 98% of crops across the province have been successfully harvested this year, despite the dry conditions early on. And while there were still some challenges throughout the season, like moisture variation, as well as some did experience some crop damage due to hail, the year wrapped up on a positive note.
Perfect. Yeah, and we like to see. I mean, we wish they could all be bumper crops, but they're not going to be. And there's such a vast geographic landscape. That 98% in the bin, I would suggest, is overarchingly a positive number. Let's talk then from the field into the finance realm. And that's kind of where Affinity can come in and help you out. What should farmers be focused on now that the grain is in the bin?
Well, post-harvest is a great time to meet with your agriculture advisor to update your year-end balance sheet, as well as review how your 2025 season went and prepare for 2026, whether that's looking to improve your operations efficiencies or update equipment or increase your land base.
Perfect. And what role can Affinity play in all of that?
Well, for starters, Affinity Credit Union does have some good rate specials on right now. Our 5 years at 4.44% for equipment, as well as mortgages. So if you're not looking to update equipment or increase your land base at this time, we do have a lot of experience working with Saskatchewan producers across the province to help put you in a good position going into 2026.
Perfect. I love that. And how is Affinity different, say, from other financial institutions which may also offer low rates?
Well, I believe it's our people. We do have advisors across the province, which gives gives us the perspective needed to help offer solutions to meet your needs where you are. We do strive to get to know our members in order to build a relationship that does go beyond banking.
Perfect. I love that. Well, they say, make hay when the sun shines and get a loan when the snow flies. I don't know. I just came up with that, but you can learn more and you won't get this clown at affinitycu.ca. Thanks for a couple of minutes.
Thank you very much.
Oh, cool. We're trying.
Keanu Reeves has a lot to deal with in his next sci-fi film. He's set to star in Shiver from Deadpool director Tim Miller. The Hollywood Reporter says details are sparse, but it's believed to be about a smuggler dealing with a deadly double-cross, hungry sharks, and a time loop.
It was so cool.
Keeping up with the Joneses as Bridgets. Daisy Edgar Jones from Twisters and Amelia Jones from Coda are reportedly set to star in Bad Bridgets, about 19th century sisters who flee famine-ravaged Ireland for New York. Filming is planned for Ireland and Northern Ireland next spring. Florence and the Machine have a Halloween hit. The group released its latest album, Everybody Scream, on Friday, and a Billboard poll published that day named the album music fans' favorite new release of the week. The band plans a tour supporting the album, launching in February in Belfast and reaching the U.S. in April. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Besides heating up the airwaves with her espresso, Sabrina Carpenter's just delivered a Java jolt to an unsuspecting group of high school freshman buddies.
That's right. And now she's generated a celebrity-level buzz for their growing teen foodie podcast. Here's ABC's Danny New.
What's up, Fern? I'm No Name. I'm McLovin. I'm Nonchalant Kid. Today we're doing a burger.
For the past year, 4 best friends from Maryland have been letting their food opinions fly on their podcast, MD Foodie Boys.
Has this first year gone even better than you expected?
Oh, yeah, for sure. A lot better than expected.
But here's one thing these high school freshmen were not anticipating.
I'm going to kick things off with a controversial pick, Twizzlers.
Bro, what? A parody of their podcast on Saturday Night Live featuring pop superstar Sabrina Carpenter.
Me and Emmett were actually having a sleepover. And then we woke up the next morning and we just saw like a bunch of text messages about it.
This all went down a few weeks ago.
I've never had a vegetable, low-key. Never tried any vegetables. Not gonna lie.
And since then, 2 of the actresses from the sketch have even commented on their Instagram, with Veronica Slowikoska writing, "Love you guys."
Did you think they did a good job?
I thought it was funny, yeah. There were a lot of very close, they were pretty on point.
But really, these young food critics have been gaining momentum since their very first post last December.
I don't understand how celery has 0 calories or close to 0.
Which quickly picked up millions of views.
I don't even know if any of us thought we'd film a second podcast. Yeah. Until we saw how crazy that first one went. If your music was a food, what would it be?
Such a good question.
Since then, they've welcomed special guests like Grammy-nominated rapper Lil Yachty. And just recently, they were even welcomed by their hometown Baltimore Ravens. But I know one wish they have for year 2 of the podcast.
Would you like Sabrina Carpenter to come on the pod?
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
By the way, one of the foodie boys actually said he had never heard of SNL until he was being depicted on it, which, honestly, is pretty baller. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
I love that they have a podcast. I think we should have one. What would we call it, Jeremy?
Newsboys.
No, I've already planned this out.
She's not a boy.
Yeah, I'm not a boy.
You said I didn't.
Well, we
You got to tell me the specifics of who's on it first.
No, I've already planned this out, okay? So we have some very interesting conversations in the newsroom every morning. I said we need a podcast. We're going to call it Before, well, it used to be Before ML.
Right, yeah.
Now I guess it'd be Before YM.
Yeah. That we don't want to be exposed for this.
Yeah, we've thought about overheard in the newsroom or overheard in studio or during commercials stuff before, and then we just thought, no, we would be kicked off or fired or something if that got out.
And really, it's mostly because every story that we run in our system gets a slug, a name, and sometimes those are weird, right? And that's where it ends up. Let's get to our sidebar. Family in Australia has made an incredible discovery, pulling a glass bottle holding a 109-year-old letter on a beach.
We feel proud that the bottle picked us. Yeah, and we'll keep on cleaning our beaches until the day we die. This is the dear little cork.
They'll clean up beaches till the day they die.
Oh,
Deborah Brown sharing her story, and that's my bad Australian accent. The bottle held letters from 2 Australian First World War soldiers dated August 15, 1916. One is from Private Malcolm Alexander Neville, who was killed in action in France. The other from William Kirk Harley, who returned home after the war. Brown was able to track down family members of both men and send them those letters.
That is really neat. The concept of a letter in a bottle really just gets me excited. I love the concept. It's so much fun. I want to read it.
I'd get somebody's Christmas
list. Find a
list.
good bottle. I don't know if we make bottles like they used to these days.
Do we make anything like we used to these days? Nothing's built to last anymore.
No.
Just my old man diatribe for today. That brings us to the end of the show. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy your morning, Saskatchewan.